Hi, everybody. I did one, but I can't do the other one. I'm a millennial. I do it like this, okay? Hi,
This
everybody.
is the
Love
correct
hearts.
way.
That is the correct way. If you're doing it that way, you are correct and you may stay. If not, stay and we'll teach you how to do it properly as part of this game. Um, who is this person talking absolute gibberish at you? It me, JC Darcy. Hi, welcome. This year I'm one of the coordinators here at All for Good, and I'm delighted to be here as part of this event playing Not Yet with the absolutely lovely designer of the game. How lucky am I? I'm Darcy. I use she, they pronouns. No, I don't. I use they, she pronouns. I am a white woman. I have mid length brown hair. I'm currently wearing a blue t shirt with stars all over it to be thematic, and I wear rectangular glasses. I would like Taylor to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Taylor Navarro. I use she, her pronouns. I am a Puerto Rican woman. I have light tan skin, long wavy brown hair, and I am wearing, it just looks black. You can't really see it because my hair is obscuring it, but I'm wearing like black clothes, black headset, and I've got those big round glasses.
I love that style. Yeah, so we are here to play Taylor's game. This is a two-player game of romance, missed opportunities, and fate winning through. Um, we are here as the final stream. We get to round it off in this charity stream that has been going on all weekend. So much work going on behind the scenes. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated. We have smashed our goal. We are way past the £1,000 goal. Right now it is at 1275. I reckon we can make it to 1500 by the end of this game. What do you think, Taylor?
I think we can do it, and we have some
Do
really good incentives to kind of get people
it.
donating as well.
We do. We really do. So yeah, thank you for joining us. If you haven't seen this game, it was an incredibly successful Kickstarter. Can people still pre-order it now?
At the moment, the pre-order store is not open, but it should be opening early June-ish. The game
Amazing.
is complete. It is being printed currently while we're doing this, which is very exciting, but you can't get physical copies anymore, I'm afraid. So if you missed the Kickstarter, I'm really sorry. But digital copies, including the audiobook and all of the digital stretch goals, will be available on Drive-Thru RPG by the end of June. And I do believe that Not Yet is one of the giveaways for this weekend. And so
Yeah.
you will get all of that. If you don't, is it if you donate?
No, you just need to be part of the giveaway. You need to type in chat. I believe it's either coming up at the break or at some other point. It might have already been. I'm not going to lie. I've been really sick this weekend, so I haven't been able to tune in. Blue says it's the break. It is in the break. So stick around for that. If you like what you see, then you can go and get your digital copy. But yeah, Taylor, take it away if you want to introduce the game and how we're going to be playing today.
Okay, hi everyone. This is very exciting. This is the first time I'm playing this game, so I have put a lot of love along with the rest of my team, who I'll shout out in a minute. Not Yet is a romantic duet ttrpg. If it's date night, if you're trying to create a backstory for your characters, if you just want to flirt with your friends, this is the game for you. It's like based on, if you're familiar with How I Met Your Mother, like the yellow umbrella, think of the glass slipper from Cinderella, tokens of love and falling in love with somebody who you don't quite get to meet properly is what we're going to be doing. So Darcy and I are going to be creating a romantic comedy or drama. We'll see what the vibes are like live for you tonight. But we're not just doing it on modern day Earth. No, we are taking to the stars, and we are doing this in a sci-fi setting, which was written by the wonderful Nathan Blades. Um, oh, I'm so excited!
I'm
So excited to
so
do
excited.
this.
Taylor
It's
dropped these prompts in front of me. He's like, "You're the first person to see these." I was like, "The power,
yeah,
the power!" And it's so good. I'm so excited.
it's incredible. I do just want to give a shout out to my team, the creative force behind Not Yet. I am the creative lead and lead game designer on this. We had additional game design, and the game's layout is by Fauna M. We had editing by Arman. The beautiful cover for the book was done by Raya Sarkar. Aaron Catano Sayers is the voice of our audiobook. And we've got additional settings written by Valiant Dorian, Nathan Blades, and Arman Babu. Um, Loved working with every single one of them. Like, I really hope everyone in chat enjoys this game as much as I've enjoyed creating it. Okay, right. So I think that's everything. Shall we dive in?
Let's do it.
Okay. So I think the best way to start is I'm just gonna do the setting and then we'll do our character creation.
Cool.
So, welcome to SAR System 808, home to a funky mix of alien life and two planetary governments locked in a conflict that's gone way beyond just harshing the groove. If you're unlucky enough to be born on the planet Zeta 8 or Golo Holon, you've been signed up for a conflict so petty that no one at the top is going to back down. Though you're on separate sides of the war, the rhythm of the galaxy has reached your ears, and the temptation of trying something new is overwhelming. Trade in the bulletproof visor and combat fatigues for bubble helmets and interstellar sequence. You'll have to return eventually, but this double feature cannot be stopped. So, we are in Star System 808, and we now have to create some characters who live in this universe. So, name and pronouns. Darcy, do you want to go first with a name? Or can I?
Names. So
Or shall I?
names I usually leave towards the end once I've
Mhm.
got a vibe and I
Okay,
can
we can
pick
skip
the
that
right
and come
area of
back.
fantasy name generator to go to, you know?
You know what? That's completely fair.
Mm.
Um,
But I
I'm all
think
over the place.
I'm definitely going she her pronouns. If only to because we've had let's go lesbians in the chat and I feel like we need to go if we can, if you're in that sort of she her
Uh,
area,
I
let's go
love
lesbians.
I love a good she her. So she her pronouns for sure. We'll come back to names at the end,
Yeah.
I think. So for the audience, character creation and world building happen as you play. So this is not something that you sort out beforehand. You do it like as you play. You create the novel or the rom-com movie in one go. Which is why we're doing this now, live on stream. Woohoo! Um, okay. So I guess, do you want to be from Zeta 8? Zeta 8? Or Golo Holon?
Do we
I
know
can't
anything
pronounce
about their
either.
backgrounds?
No, you get to make it up. And I can't pronounce either of them. So,
I'll take Gola Horon just because I think
okay.
that sounds fun to say.
Zeta 8 for me then. Okay. So one of the questions that we do have to ask later is what is an identifying feature of your alien kind?
Yes.
But let's just focus on like the general appearance for now.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
Well, we talked about this in Session Zero, and it has been living in my head rent free. I think I would like to go if I just check our lines and veils and make sure. Ooh, okay. So this is a veil. So you tell me if this is approaching
Mhm.
too much. I had been thinking of um you know, you get those classic sci-fi races that it's like cat person, fox person, bird person.
Mhm.
I'm not thinking of Star Fox immediately. Um, what if it was slightly sort of like an insectoid race and they had some elements
Okay.
of bug kind? Is that too close to
I can tell you what, if we kind of keep it a little bit more humanoid, so
very much what I
maybe
was intending, yeah.
maybe like you know they have like the exoskeleton
Yeah.
and like maybe some light mandibles would be okay or like the little antenna thing. But I think if we get too if we get too much past that.
I'm just picturing the inevitable kiss scene and you're like, mandibles are okay. That's good to know.
Just like a little bit. Just like small ones, you
I
know.
hadn't been thinking that. I think that might be a veil for me. I think mandibles
Okay,
are
you
a
know,
no,
okay, scratch that, scratch that.
but it's good to
My
learn
my
that.
my thinking was like orc tusks, and it's just sideways orc tusks if you think about it.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I could go
So
with that.
but no, we'll scratch that. We'll scratch
Yeah.
that.
Let's learn
It
about
was
that.
an idea,
Yeah,
but
Blue says little dealy boppers. Like, I could do some
oh,
little cute little antennae.
you know, like Mantis from Guardians of the
Yeah,
Galaxy,
that kind of vibe.
like
Yeah,
that kind of vibe.
yeah,
Okay, perfect.
yeah.
I can
We can
vibe
go
with
with that.
that.
Okay. And I think the one thing that was kind of integral was I had in mind, like proto wings, not full insect wings,
Mhm.
but just kind of like small, shimmery kind of
Ooh.
excuse me, um, kind of dragonfly-esque wings. So this species can't quite get full flight, but it's the sort of
Mhm.
thing where you could do a hover occasionally and give yourself a speed boost. That was kind of what I had in mind.
Oh, I like that. I like that a lot.
Cool.
Yeah, cool beans, cool beans, cool beans.
Cool.
Okay.
So we got Dealy Boppers and Wings. So it's basically just like a 13-year-old girl at a school disco.
I think I've just been called out. Hang on. My nose bleeding.
I did not mean to be
Okay.
that targeted. I'm sorry. Yeah, festival vibes, says Blue. Absolutely.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay,
I'm going to Coachella.
I have decided. Okay, for my character's appearance, um, I want a pair of retractable arms like Lilo and Stitch, like Stitch and
Absolutely.
Dot,
Mm-hmm.
because I, Taylor, want those in real life, and if I can't have, like, my power fantasy romance be I have extra arms for extra holding, then I don't wanna live in
That's
that
fair.
kind of world, so I will change it to make it the world that I wanna live in.
You have that power now. You are the
I have
designer
the
of this
power.
game.
I could do that, and I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that. I got retractable arms.
Perfect.
Absolutely can't tell that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that means I have like almost like I wear crop tops, but like with like the tabard, like it kind of like a
Yeah.
square that goes down, so it slits at the side, and then
Yeah.
my arms can come out when I need them, and
I
then
love
go
that.
back in.
I love that.
Because fashion is important. um,
That's good to know.
um, I am going to have lavender skin because I like the color purple, and I think that I should be able to.
Very nice.
Um, and I think that's good. More like still quite humanoid.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Yeah.
go into more character like appearance details as we role play out, but I think that's like a very good like, this is alien enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Okay.
that. I like that there's some similarities there as well. Like
Yeah.
distinct, but same genus, same Venn diagram.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. I do think all black all black eyes.
Oh,
So,
really? Oh, okay.
yeah, I
Cool.
think I think for me, I think I would like just like
Mm-hmm.
the full black because that's cool and I like it.
What
Um,
if all black, but you do get those? Have you ever seen Zeus the owl who lives in a zoo somewhere in LA, I think? And he has like stars in his eyes. They're like pure black eyes,
yes,
but it's
yes,
just
I
spattered
have.
with stars. So
Everything is
beautiful.
better with stars. Yes,
Everything is better with stars.
done. I love
Done.
it. Literally, she's got stars in her eyes.
Literally.
That's a pickup line. Speaking of, I don't
Love that.
think I actually said what our donation incentives were.
We did
Um,
not.
I'm so sorry, everyone.
That's
So,
okay.
just as a heads up, if you donate tonight, you can influence the game in some way, but more importantly, you can influence what me and Darcy look like in some way. So, if you donate £5 or more, we will insert a cheesy pickup line of our choice into the dialogue tonight. If you donate £10 or more, we will paint love hearts on our faces. I literally have here some face paint and I have a brush and I will just very quietly add love hearts to my face if you donate. For £15 or more, we're going to give ourselves cute sidekicks. Like the Ewoks and like BB-8. We will give ourselves BB-8s and Ewoks and cute things galore. And if you do £20 or more, we have Darcy, you have your jewels, and I have full. You can't really see those very well. There you go. I have temporary tattoos. I'll stick these on my face, on my neck while we're playing. Will go full decoration to raise some money for Doctors Without Borders.
And they
Um,
will be there for a while. Temporary tattoos, you gotta scrub them sometimes.
you gotta scrub them. Like makeup remover's not gonna
Mm-mm.
do it.
Mm-mm.
So please donate. Let us know what you'd like us to do from the incentives. And now we move on to a mechanical feature of the game with character creation, which is the determination tags.
Oh,
Now,
yes.
determination tags are very much those cliche romantic tropes. Each person in the game gets them, and they have effects on the mechanics of the game. So let me pull up the determination tag page. Okay, so they're used to prompt the role play, and we have 5 options: bold, destined, fated, forgetful, and resolute. So bold, come and find me. Destined, it was always going to be you. Fated, we were meant to be together. Forgetful, where did you get this from? And resolute, I'll find you. What out of those, Darcy, seems to appeal to you?
I'm kind of torn between two, and
Mm-hmm.
they're the most like hopeless romantic ones. I really love Destined and I really love Fated. You and I have
Mm-hmm.
talked about sort of the direction that we think the story is going to go, and I love the idea of building a story of two people who are just meant to be together, no matter the
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, no matter the things
Mm-hmm.
that come between them. And I know that's like what the game is meant to replicate, that sort of trope. I really love the way that they make that happen mechanically.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like Fated. I'm trying not to min max because it's not that kind of game.
Okay, hang on. We're doing this for charity. So,
True.
this is one of the only times that I would argue we are specifically allowed to take the determination tags that let us min-max
Okay.
the love story because
Okay.
we're doing it for charity.
It's for charity, mate.
Mhm.
In that case, I might be wrong because I haven't played it before, but just reading it, I feel like Fated is stronger.
Um, Fated you can use continually.
Yeah.
So fated, so basically each time you roll to meet the other character, a fated character can add or subtract one from the result on their fate die.
Mm.
Um,
So that allows me to manipulate getting closer or further away,
mhm.
um, as the story may demand.
Yeah. Whereas destined is when the fate die in the first scene, if you're destined, you can automatically match your partner's fate die without having to roll. So you definitely meet in the first scene. So
Oh.
it's up to you because
Ooh.
that's a one-time use versus a continual use.
Yeah, but that is a strong start, isn't it? Like, if the outcome of Destined is you definitely meet in the first scene,
Mhm.
that sets a really strong foundation for everything. Even if we never meet again throughout the rest of the scenes all the way to the end, there's something to work with there. You've convinced me. I will buy this car. I will go with Destined.
Okay, so you're gonna be destined.
Yep.
I, because we are on stream, I'm going to take the forgetful determination tag. So something very important in this game is the tokens, the yellow umbrellas, the glass slippers, what have you, and they do have mechanical benefits to the story.
Mm,
So my character can leave a token behind when acting second in a build-up scene. So usually you can only leave it if you go first, but because we're on a stream and we want to make sure that the token is actually used, I'm going to take that because it allows me to leave it if I act second, and then you can come back and claim it before we start the next
mm.
scene.
Yep.
Cool beans?
Love that.
Okay. I should probably make a note of what my determination tag is.
Same.
Although I'm going to use it immediately, but there are character sheets for this game,
Mm,
but they're not form fillable, so we aren't using those today. But they are beautiful. Fauna did an incredible job making those look so pretty. Okay, now we have to answer some questions about our characters, and this is really going to hit home. I think with some of these questions,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I might have called myself out accidentally when I was making the general character questions. And then we've got some specific ones for the setting. So the first general question is, what is one thing your character loves about themselves?
Ooh,
Like self-love is important.
that's
So
true.
what is something that your character loves about themselves?
So we're talking about a determined dragonfly-esque person who,
Mhm.
for whatever reason, is currently embroiled in an intergalactic conflict.
So that you just where you were born, mate.
Yeah, that's just your lot in life.
It's just your lot in life, unfortunately.
So in that case, I think this character, um, I think they have an ability to see small moments of beauty and rest within the world, and that's something that a lot of people have lost touch with because this conflict has been going on for so long. For a
Mhm.
lot of people, that's like you say, that's just your lot. That's how things are. But she is able to fleetingly sometimes. I feel like she's a journaler. She's that kind of vibe.
Aw.
And so she's the kind to keep, um, like souvenirs, like scrapbooking almost. Like if she's jetting around the galaxy, she'll detail about the places that she's been. Not that anybody ever sees it. She's not doing it for anybody but herself. But she's kind of intent on not allowing this conflict to take everything from her. And she makes a point of finding something beautiful wherever she goes. I think she's quite proud of that, that is something that she was born with that the galaxy hasn't managed to take from her.
Oh, that's a lot more profound than what I was gonna say.
I could change it. She
No,
likes her
no,
she likes her
no,
daily
no,
boppers.
no. No, no, no. That is beautiful, that is gorgeous, and I think that fits the vibes perfectly. So 100% keep that. Um, so my initial thought for my character was, spoiler alert, we're gonna have mechs. Um, 'Cause okay, Taylor, stay on track. Don't go off on a tangent about mechs. Um,
I
hello.
fully encourage tangents about mechs. Hello,
Okay,
it me.
did you see the Atlas trailer?
No.
Um, they put J-Lo in a mech for a movie.
I don't know how to feel about that.
I feel really excited about that. Now my character is a purple J-Lo who is retractable arm.
Perfect. Perfect.
Um, okay, hang on. Taylor, focus. Bring it back. We're on stream. Um,
You could do this. Hopeless romantic.
hopeless romantic. I think I think the thing that my character loves about themselves, and I'm gonna pick this as something to kind of hopefully incorporate a character arc into this game,
Mm,
is that she loves how good she is in her mech. Like I think she's like quite an accomplished soldier.
mm,
Um and she likes like the feeling of
yeah,
being inside a mech, and she feels like she's good at something, and maybe this is the only thing that she thinks that she's good at.
yeah.
Um because I would really like to challenge that notion of like being proud of being good at destruction and harm.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're okay with this, I would like to I want to challenge. I want to challenge that and have a character who starts off being really proud and loving
Mm,
that about themselves, and maybe doesn't, and hopefully doesn't love that about themselves by the end.
yeah. And I like that those are almost they're not in direct contrast, but it definitely speaks to very different character types to have somebody
Mhm.
who is out there focusing on the destructive part and being good at it, as opposed to somebody who's focusing on the non-conflict elements. That's got some potential.
That is, yeah,
Mm.
that's I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, here we go. Next question. Again, I called myself out here. What is one thing your character wishes that they could change about themselves?
Beyond the obvious, I wish I wasn't embroiled in an intergalactic war.
I mean, it can be that.
Or is
Um,
that a given?
that's kind of a given, but if you want to use that, you can use that. I think I know for me, I think my character wishes she knew how to relax.
Mm,
Um, because I think especially with like this love and importance on like being a good soldier,
mhm,
when she's not doing that, I think she feels quite lost as a person.
mm,
And so I think that one thing that she wishes is that she could like stop and relax and maybe appreciate the small things. I
mm,
wonder who could help her with that.
dunno. Okay, so maybe hmm, I feel like I'm thinking about, because a lot of the pressures that are on these characters are, like, cultural, for lack of a better word, like, they come from, their home planets and their society. I'm wondering about this society of bug people.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I wonder if this is a society of people who are quite, there's quite a strict moral code and, like, a societal code, and this is I'm not targeting you directly, this is not me just trying to tick all the Taylor enjoys this boxes, but they're quite, like, straight-laced and formal, and so actually that turns this act of journaling that she is fond of almost into an act of defiance, like quiet, private defiance.
Are you sure you're just not trying to tickle my boxes?
I'm not trying.
You're
Um,
doing it.
I'm just accidentally doing exactly that. Um, I feel like they're quite straight-laced and especially talking outright about feelings is quite taboo, quite yeah.
Yeah.
She wishes it wasn't the case. She has this one outlet, this journal, this scrapbook, and for now that's enough. But she kind of wishes that she could she could explore that more and definitely explore it with somebody.
Love that.
Mm.
Okay, next thing. This is perhaps the most important question, because we're going to guide each other here.
Okay.
What is the most important quality that your character is looking for in a partner?
Ooh. So, if I could piggyback off of that, I would imagine it would be somebody who could be that person who could be that outlet. Um,
Mhm.
somebody I think that person would have to be quite brave, would have to be a little bit rebellious in and of themselves,
Mhm.
um, but strong enough to stand up for them as a couple and for their love because they're inevitably going to face backlash for that.
Yeah. I like that.
Cool.
Um, for my character, yet to be named,
Mm.
I think what they're looking for in a partner is somebody who they can make mistakes around. I think with like being so like not great at most things,
Mhm.
like being able to explore and make mistakes but fix them.
Yeah.
I think somebody who is understanding and can kind of put like empathetic is what they're kind of looking for here.
Mhm. Yep. Yeah, that tracks. That's great.
Like maybe my character doesn't know it yet, maybe she doesn't know it, but like that is I think what she's actually looking for. Okay,
I imagine I could probably provide that. Yeah.
love this. Okay, almost done with character creation.
Cool.
So we're playing as soldiers of two different alien species who are at war. What is an identifying feature of your alien kind? So we kind of covered what we look like. Are we typical of our kind? Is there something?
That was what I had in mind. Yeah. Like I
Mhm.
say that it was what's the word I'm looking for that isn't like a colonial term, like a culture of maybe varied insect types, insect type of
Mhm.
humanoid. So there's not just she is um this sort of dragonfly human, but maybe there are other types of um species of insect represented as well. Like you have a stag beetle person or a butterfly person
Oh,
or
I
that
like
kind of
that.
thing.
I like that. I think everyone on my planet is shades of pink and purple. We do all have.
My
Wait,
daughter
hang on,
wants to
hang
come
on,
and live
hang on,
here, can I just
hang on,
say?
hang on, hang on. Pink, purple, and blue because we're the bi pride flag of
Excellent,
people.
exceptional.
Uh, yes, love
Yeah,
it.
I love that.
I'm bisexual. I'm putting the flag in there. Um, and I do think everyone does have the retractable arms, though.
Cool.
I think that is very important that everyone on the planet has that.
No, I love that though, because then that would be built into, like, the designs of the mechs that your
That's
people would
exactly what I'm
yeah, yeah, yeah.
thinking.
I love
That's
that.
exactly. I can't wait for you to describe your mech.
But that's like genius self-defense because they get stuck behind enemy lines, but nobody can use your mech because they don't have enough arms. They can only be
It says
piloted
to
by
be
your
operated
people.
by 2 people.
Ama- Are we gonna have like
This is
Ghost the Mech movie? It's like one person behind the other utilizing the controls. I love this
hang
game,
on,
Taylor.
wait. My brain just went to hang on, I do just need to check our lines and veils because my brain just went to a place of my second arms are like broken and so like having to do like a ghost stunt situation where I've called you into my mech to operate the bottom one.
You've killed me. Oh my god.
I'm sorry. This is the amount of fun that we should be having playing this game.
Absolutely.
10 out of 10. And we haven't even started playing yet. This is just character creation. Okay. Last question, and then we'll kind of start to get into the game a bit. The leaders of your planets have taken an insignificant cultural difference and made it a gulf. What
Oh.
do they say is irreconcilable? What between your cultures is a comforting mirror? Okay, so this has got to be like a really petty difference.
Yep.
Is it we've named the sun different things and we're arguing about who is right level of petty, or is it like, do you want to give it slightly more weight than that?
Again, checking lines and veils. Hang on. I wonder if that's the root of it. But you know how petty things can grow.
Mm-hmm.
We do have a line on. I was thinking of taking it in maybe a spiritual, religious kind of way, but maybe we steer away from that and we can
Yeah.
make it a. Maybe it's just a.
Oh,
Excuse me.
oh, 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 oh,
Oh,
okay,
oh, oh, me, me,
okay,
me,
okay,
me.
okay. We love it when scientists butt heads over who did a thing first.
Yes, yes.
Okay. So I think it's something like not quite a space race because we're
Mm-hmm.
in space, but it was like some sort of tech race where
Mm-hmm.
because the star dates or like the dates are different on each planet, there's a dispute about who did it first.
Yes. So there's like some
Yeah.
sort of solar powered technology that can only be, but it's like it's solar power and then they do something more, they do something quantum with it and channel it
Uh-huh.
into something else. And that process is disputed about
Okay.
who discovered it.
This is really out there.
Do it.
I want you to imagine a frog.
That's
I want
not
you
what I thought you were gonna say.
I
Okay.
want you to make the frog into a spaceship.
Excellent.
Right? You know when it's in like the crouching position before
Uh-huh.
it leaves?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I want you to do that. Make a spaceship. And it's a kind of ship that it can only do like light speed travel,
Mm-hmm.
but like ping ponging off of like a pinball machine off of different stars.
Interesting.
And I do think that it's like the scientific thing is
Mm-hmm.
that one looks like more like a frog and one looks more like a cricket, and they kind of both did it at the same time, almost like a space race.
Yeah.
Um, and the argument was over like who did it first.
Okay. Yeah. I love that's
That's so asinine, but like
I just love
it,
the journey that we went on to get that. Picture a frog. Wow, okay. Yeah, absolutely, I'm gonna go with that.
like look, my brain went because I was like, because the thing is, like, I don't want to make this too serious.
No.
Like, all war is bad and wrong.
Yeah.
Um, and if like we're fighting over something petty, it's got to be kind of like ridiculous petty in order for
Yeah,
us to actually enjoy playing the game.
absolutely.
So, um, but I do think that this kind of leads into the second part of the question. What between your cultures is a comforting mirror? And I
Okay.
do like the idea of like the kind of natural world, even if we're being pragmatic about it, is still kind of built into everything that we do. We've got
Mhm.
spaceships that look like animals, and
Yes.
we've got like perhaps buildings that look like different plants that grow natively on our
Mhm.
lands. And like so like architecturally, like these are next door planets, and it's like there's the way that we kind of take inspiration from the world around us and use it to construct and create,
Mhm.
even if it's only for practical reasons.
Yeah.
I think could be a really good kind of mirror between us.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's got that could be a potential bridge for my character being interested in that sort of thing. Those are definitely the sort of things that she would notice. Being on planets that are owned or controlled or whatever can like have differing native species would
Mm.
definitely appreciate that. That's got potential for sure. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay, we just need to name our characters.
I've got it. I've got it.
Have you got it?
Oh, do I need a surname? Can I just be like
No,
Madonna and
no,
just
no,
have
no, no,
one?
no.
Okay,
We
I'm
don't. I
playing
don't play with surnames unless I'm told by the GM that I need a surname.
fair, totally fair. Sometimes you do, sometimes you do not. I think I'm playing Calanthe. I think that's who I am today.
That's a really nice
It's a really
name.
pretty name, isn't it?
Ah.
Apparently it means a type of flower.
Oh.
Thanks behindthename.com. You get me.
Um. I think I'm gonna be Rosaline. Like this really like antiquated, doesn't quite fit in name
Mm,
because it's like a very like flowery kind of name, and she is not a flowery person.
okay.
And I do think that that would be like a nice.
Mm,
What's the juxtaposition? Is that the
great
word I'm
word.
thinking of?
Absolutely.
Maybe. Who knows? Not me. Um, but I'm gonna write that down before I forget. Rosaline and Calanthe? Okay, fantastic. Right, let me just take a quick water break.
Everybody take a water break. Hydrate.
Everyone, hydrate. Hydrating is important. Okay, are you ready to hop into the game? Do you know what would be helpful is if I actually had dice. Do you have dice?
I have dice. Absolutely.
I have
I'm
dice.
sorry.
I I might
I
have.
could share some dice with you. You can have some of
That would
mine.
be lovely. I'm gonna have to stand up for just 2
No
seconds.
problem. I will show off my beautiful bag. It's got octopus tentacles on it, and it's one of those wonderful ones with little pockets on the side.
Oh.
And I was really torn when I got it. I thought, should I separate it by dice set or by dice type? And right now
Mm.
I'm wishing that I had done dice type because what do I need? I need D6s.
No, so you need a D12, a D10,
Aha!
a D8, a D6, and a D4. Um,
Perfect.
I have grabbed my D&D characters dice in this lovely dice vault by Staff and Branch.
Amazing. I'm
Um,
gonna grab these 3 sets, which feel sort of thematic.
you only need one of each.
I'm getting
So
3.
look, I'm just letting you know.
Did
I'm
I
just I
stutter?
this is for the audience. I'm explaining the game.
I
Um,
have like, let's see if a camera can pick these up. These are all my purple and pink and my most sparkly, glittery, spacey dice. So those are the ones I'm going
nice.
with. Oh,
I'm
grab my little
going
tray.
with can you see these? These are like orangey and
Ooh,
they've got leaves in them.
they're pretty.
Um, okay, so the way this works, and it kind of informed the donation incentives, is we only roll dice in this game 5 times. So the game is split up into 6 scenes, and at the beginning of each scene, we're going to roll a dice to decide whether we meet or not, or whether we maybe lock eyes or something more.
Oh.
Um, yeah, I know. It's so basically this is like the way that you want to play this game is you're trying to match your partner's number if you want to meet. Or if you've got determination tags that allow you to change what you're doing, you can push yourselves apart and build some dramatic tension.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yes, so at the beginning of each scene, we will be rolling our fate die to decide if we meet each other or not. And then we will also be rolling for, normally we'd roll for a setting and then another one for a
Mm-hmm.
complication. But because this is on stream, we've already decided our settings ahead of time, but we will be rolling for our complications. Okay, so
Have we missed one thing? Is there one thing we need to create before we start rolling, or do we do that afterwards?
oh, I forgot about the token.
We need a token.
The token is incredibly important. So yes, token. So, a token like a glass slipper or yellow umbrella represents the character's relationship. It is left behind during a build-up scene, allowing one character an opportunity to change their fate die roll. So we have to decide who has the token and what
Mm-hmm.
object it is. So I'm gonna have the token because I took the forgetful tag.
Yes.
But what is it? What is the object that is going to be symbolic of our
Fate.
relationship?
What would
Hmm.
Rosaline have? What would you
See,
carry with you into the intergalactic war? Like, it's got to be some memento of home, right?
Okay, I just rolled there's a token table and I
Mm-hmm.
was just like rolling to see if it prompted me for anything. I rolled a 6, so a plushie. I'm
Amazing.
thinking maybe not like a plushie, but like a little charm.
Okay.
Like no like I'm thinking not quite bobblehead on the mech dashboard,
Mm.
but like
For like on the keychains for the ignition of the
yeah,
mech.
like oh yeah, like a fancy like keychain,
Mm.
or something like that she can attach to the outside of like her jumpsuit.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Something representative of home, or um, do you think you went to like academy to get trained to be a mech pilot? And it's something
yeah,
representative of, obviously you were top of the class because you're really, really good at this.
yeah,
So maybe
yeah,
you get like an award or something like, Battlestar Galactica reference when you're the top gun, you get the cup, you get to drink out of the cup,
yeah.
and it's something like that.
Um, I like the idea of like you know how you get like gems that mean different things?
Yeah.
I think that it's like a little keychain. It's just like 3 gems that kind of represent the 3 moons around her planet.
I love that.
Plus, we're in space. I get to have multiple moons because I want multiple moons.
Damn it.
And like each one is like a different, like each like little like moon bead is like a different gem to like
I love that.
represent like a different thing, and it's supposed to bring good luck. And it's like I think maybe most people wouldn't see it as anything other than like a little trinket, but she
Mhm.
finds it incredibly beautiful.
Mm.
Um, and I think that maybe your character might find it very beautiful too if they so happen to find it
I
somewhere. Who knows?
Who knows if that might happen or not. It's
Yeah. Okay.
gonna Yeah, I love that.
Absolutely fantastic. Right. So grab your D12 and we will roll
Well,
on into the first scene.
I could do that, or I could remind you that I picked destined, and so I'm automatically gonna match your number.
Okay, I guess I'm gonna just roll and see what number I get. Let's see. Let's see
Let's
where we
see.
start.
Let's see if we would have matched anyway. Not
Uh,
me not remembering what a D12 looks like. Okay,
I
let's
got a
go.
12 on the D12.
That is so unlike you.
I know. I know. No,
I'm not
no,
even kidding.
no.
I'm not even kidding. There's no way that's gonna show up.
Oh, I can't. I can't see.
Destined. Destined. Let's go.
I need to go lay down.
All right, we'll be right back. No, I'm joking. It's all right. I had to keep
Okay.
watching Bridget.
Okay. Right.
That
So
almost never happens in real life.
I know. Look, the dice heard that we're telling a story, and they were like, "Aye, aye, Captain." Okay. Right. So we're definitely gonna meet. So the rules for meeting are slightly different to the rules in other scenes.
Cool.
So basically, between us, we're gonna choose who begins. We can act in any order after setting the scene.
Okay.
We can meet before, during, or after the complication arises.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, the complication is just a narrative device to interrupt us fully forming a connection.
I love that.
So some things that could happen are characters might whisk you away to protect you from the complication, or the environment pushes you apart before you can exchange details. So just as a note to ourselves, we should take the time to describe how we feel after being separated at the end of the scene, having met the one and known you can't be together yet. As a reward for defying fate, I can choose to willingly give my token to you
Ooh.
if I want to. We'll see. We'll
We'll see.
see. But yes, okay. Do you want to roll for the complication or shall I?
I'll start. I may as well start.
Yeah.
Remind me
Let's see.
what die I'm rolling?
A D4.
D4. I've got one of those right here. So that is a 2.
Oh my god. Okay, right. So we're in our mechs. We're in deep space.
Mhm.
Life support systems fail and need urgent repair.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. It can be one, it can be both. We'll see.
Both.
It could be both.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Gosh, I hope the audience are enjoying this.
Who cares about them? We're having a great time.
We would be geeking out, and I keep forgetting that we're on stream.
Same.
Hey, in the chat, don't forget to donate for our charity campaign. We would
Mm.
love to keep raising money for Doctors Without Borders, who are doing some incredible work not only in Gaza but also Sudan as well.
Yeah, and
Um,
across the world, everywhere.
across the world.
And if you drop
Uh,
£5, we will meet in mechs in space that have dying life support systems and have to drop a cheesy pickup line. Who
this
doesn't
is
want to see that?
this is absolutely true. If somebody could just donate £15, please, so I at least have a sidekick to help me while my life support systems are failing.
So good.
Okay, bringing it back. So we're in the first scene. This is scene 1.
Mm-hmm.
We're in our mechs. We're in space. Do you wanna set? Do you have an idea about like
I'm
what
I'm
the scene looks like?
picturing I'm picturing like pitched battle, like front lines.
Yes.
This is like a galaxy-wide conflict. Despite come back here, microphone. Despite the fact that our planets are next to each other, this conflict has raged throughout the system, throughout the galaxy, because we have other interests, and it's now all about controlling resources. It's about
Mhm.
controlling, um, like routes of communication to those other colonies that might exist. It's exploded.
Mhm.
And so generally speaking, do you think it's mostly because space is vast? I feel like actual head-to-head confrontation is actually pretty rare. It doesn't happen all the time. There's a lot of Cold War stuff going on, a lot of stalemate. But when an attack is launched, or even if it happens by accident, people just happen to be patrolling in different areas, and run into one another, the
Mhm.
battle is like really, really fierce. And
Yeah.
maybe there's like a front line where this is an ongoing set of conflict where we're trying to push a boundary, push a front line, retake a resource or something. Um, and the fighting has been hardest here. I feel like Calanthe has just been deployed. I'm imagining that she's still got that kind of fresh, bright new recruit thing going on. Um, she maybe has been around the galaxy a bit, but it's been mostly training missions. It's been mostly reconnaissance and knowledge building. And this is the
Mhm.
first time she's been dispatched to, here is where the fighting is thickest. Now it's time to prove yourself. And we are
I
locked
like
in a
that.
conflict.
Question: Are we in space or are we on the planet's surface?
I like space.
I
That's just
like
a
space.
general comment. I do like space. But if you had something ground-based, like a
Um,
specific resource in mind, like maybe a specific station or
I really like the idea of this being in space. I think
cool.
that a lot of the fighting is actually off planet,
Mhm.
where there are less it's less likely for like civilian casualties.
Yeah.
Um, because I think that both planets do value their people,
Yes.
even though they've enlisted them. Um, so I like space. It also makes the life support failure a little
Mhm.
bit more spicy and
Yes,
dicey. Um,
definitely.
okay, fantastic. So you're on one side, I'm
Mhm.
on the other side. Rosaline It's it because then it's like motorcycles as well. Like your mech is like a singular vehicle for yourself, which I really like.
Yeah,
Sorry,
kinda.
brain tangent.
Do it.
Yeah, I think Rosaline has been like is in and out of the front all the time.
Mhm.
I don't think this is anything unusual. Um, yeah, I like that. She's in her mech, which looks like
Here we go. This is the part we're all waiting for.
this is the part that we're waiting for. Um, okay. Inside the mech has all of like the panels and
Mhm.
stuff. It's all like kind of like oxidized copper tones.
Mm.
Like that teal, greeny, blue kind of vibes on the inside.
Mhm.
Um, with like I do think like she's got mood lighting in there. Her lighting is pink. Because it can be, and I want it to be. Um, so she kind of stands like she stands on like a circular pad, and there's like imagine like bike handlebars like here,
Yeah.
and like some like
Uh-huh.
midriff level. I don't know if the camera can pick this up or not. And like gas pedals on the floor. She's got on like a chrome kind of jumpsuit with like silver piping,
Ooh.
and like one of those like visors that's like mirrored reflective, so you
Mhm.
can't see her eyes behind it at this
So
moment.
badass. Yeah.
But she's got like an analysis of everything that's happening on the field.
Mhm.
um I'm just gonna go like quite simple with the mech design. It's like a well, not rectangular because smooth,
Mhm.
and it's like the like that casing. And it does have like boxer kind of arms, like two
Amazing.
sets of boxer arms,
Mhm.
and feet as well. And like you see her like push inside, and like her mech literally snatches a shuttle out of the air and
Damn.
crushes it and throws it back, and it like clips something, and they both spiral away
How
towards
big is this mech? Like, how
um
big is this shuttle?
like it's just like a tiny shuttle, you know, when it's like someone's trying to sneak through what they think is a gap.
Uh-huh.
And it's literally like just a grab and a throw and a spiral. um oh, thank you for the donation
Oh,
that's
we got a
just come
face
through.
paint donation.
We've got a face paint donation.
Let
So
me do a little one. Let's do a little one. I don't have face paint, but I have lip liner.
nice, nice, nice. So yeah, I think that's what's happening, as like that's kind of like the first thing that you see from her. Um
Is she the only mech on the field? A mech's quite valuable and rare.
I think that there's a lot of big spaceships, and like a lot of the smaller spaceships as well, kind of flying around almost like swarms. And there's
Ooh,
probably about a squad of 5 to 7 mechs that
that look
are
that's
that
really
are
cool.
kind of like causing big problems because
Yeah,
they don't have guns. They're literally there for like
I
field
love that.
control.
Yes, I really love that because I was gonna lean into something a bit like that as well, and I feel like maybe that's I really love the way that you, um, introduced the concept of this war panning out as it's so rare to see, again, without touching on too many lines and veils, a conflict in which the higher ups actually care about reducing casualties and reducing damage. And so maybe there is almost maybe not a spoken accord. Maybe this isn't an unspoken thing that we agree. Yes, there's going to be conflict, but we have these massive potential weapons of mass destruction, but
Hmm.
we're not gonna go overboard, we're not gonna do overkill. We're gonna
Hmm.
use them for more strategic purposes.
Mm.
And so, I think Calanthe pilots and mech leaning into that sort of, natural world thing. I think a lot of the science from Golohoron is my world. A lot of
Yes.
the science and technology is very, very based on the natural world and replicates a lot of the incredible things that insects and plants can do. So um I'm picturing, like, the cockpit being very biotech, very sort of organic,
Ooh.
and she's almost, like, plugged into the mech and part of its brain circuits herself.
I love that.
And so the things that the mechs are there to do is not outright destruction, but it's more, imagine like a control mage, and they're there to do like lingering damage, and like creating poison clouds in space, or like acidic clouds that stop mechs from entering a certain area. And it's more about control than doing actual damage. Um, and so when your squadron is sort of dispatched and you start like cutting a swath through the melee, I think Calanthe's unit is dispatched to try and steer you away from, let's say that like we're fighting over like a gas giant. Like this is a resource that we have. This is a place that we have a mine, and this is a really key component of our biotech. And you guys are trying to either take it out or take it over, and we're
Mm.
currently trying to evacuate the space.
Oh,
um and so this
yeah.
is less like we're trying to fight each other, it's just like we're trying to fight over this goal. So while
Mhm,
you're cutting your way through, we're trying to steer you away to give the people on the surface more time to get away.
mhm.
And so that's what we enter the battle to do. We're here to deploy like disruptive measures and just buy time more than trying to take you out.
Oh, love that. Okay. Okay, right. So, oh, I love the idea of like you being plugged into your system.
It's
I
pretty
think I think that's just the visuals are so sick.
right. Yeah, and
Um,
it's all very like I'm picturing sort of like cables that run in clumps to look like um almost like the stems of flowers in a bouquet, building like pillars around her, and then occasionally a tendril
oh,
will
wow.
peel away and like form her hood, like form a little thing up across her eye. And some of them will plug in.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay, right. The life support systems fail.
Yes.
Okay. Front lines, we're clashing. We're trying to break through and it's not working. You're holding a barrier. Um, I do think it's one of these things. Is it like you're literally like forming your mechs like literally like shields up for forming like a
I think
physical barrier?
so. Yeah, and
Okay.
deploying like chemicals or physical obstacles to try and force you to take the long way around.
Okay. Right. I'm thinking. She's processing, but
Okay.
realizing we're on stream and there's like people watching, and so she can't take her time
Forget
with.
about them. Forget about them. They've only donated £10 so far. They need to up their game. I'm talking to you, chat.
Okay. We love you, chat.
We
Please
love you, chat.
donate for a good cause. But okay. I think that when I yeet the small shuttle and clip the other shuttle, which is very important for me personally as being a badass. Um, I think because I'm focused on that, like I don't see like an incoming projectile.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna crack my windshield.
Ooh, that's a big one.
So it's not broken yet, and it's Star Trek rules of there's like some sort of invisible bubble. So
Mhm.
like when we get cracks like that, it doesn't just like destroy everything right away.
Mhm.
Um, but it is a case of I need to retreat,
Mhm.
but I'm on the edge. And so going back to like the nearest like huge cruiser is not going to be good.
Yes.
So I'm gonna take a dive.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go like down into the left,
Okay.
and make a beeline for like um it's not quite an asteroid. It's like when I say mini planet, I want you to think of like, in the Bluey Sleep episode.
I absolutely adore that we're going straight to Bluey for references, Taylor. How dare
Look,
you?
look, I know that you know
You know
exactly
that
what
I
I'm
know.
talking about right now.
Yes, I do. Yes.
Like, you
I
know
know
those.
the asteroid that you mean.
Yeah, like, and it's like it's that idea of it like has like a little bit of an atmosphere. It's like a literally teeny, like tiny in comparison, but
Mhm.
it has like enough of an atmosphere that it's going to like buy some time.
Mhm.
while she tries to fix
Mhm.
what fix this thing, the crack in her windshield.
Yeah, absolutely. But I think there's so much going on. This is such a fiercely pitched battle that maybe our side doesn't register that you've been hit because there were so
Mhm.
many projectiles. There's so many coming our way as well. Um, and so all we see is an enemy combatant breaking off from the group. And so our immediate reaction is they're trying something. They're trying to go around, they're trying to break our line. And Calanthe is I think she's terrified. I think this is when you've been training for something, you've been preparing for something for so long, and then it's happening and it's real and everything is just adrenaline and the sound of your own heartbeat in your ears. But then
Mhm.
at the same time, there are these gas clouds and they're catching the light from a nearby moon and they're twinkling in a way that she's never seen light refracted like that. And so there's part of her brain that is only focused on that.
Mhm.
And then suddenly there's some captain's voice over her comms, and she's being directed to try and intercept. Whatever way you're going, Calanthe now has to try and intercept, block you, take you out, whatever is necessary.
Mhm. Okay. So I think so we're both kind of speeding towards this same place.
Mhm.
I think I'm gonna get there first just because
Definitely.
of like starting, and it's like that skidding, and it like makes track marks like literally on like the circumference
Mhm.
of the planet, as like just kind of like rock and dirt kind of flies up everywhere. Um, and it's like this thing of like she literally like lets go of the joysticks, like rips off this visor and throws it on the floor. Um, and like you see for the first time like her pure black eyes. Um, and like she literally like flings open a cupboard and grabs like this like a Bane mask, except
Mhm.
it's like you know when that metal is like pink and blue and purple and it like changes based on how the light is.
Mhm.
Like she grabs something like that and it looks like a geode like across her like mouth and nose.
Mhm.
Um and like begins to like balloon out into like this kind of bubble around her head
Oh,
like
that's
it
awesome.
activates and it literally just looks like her head is trapped in a bubble that
Mhm.
like forms around her.
But that's
um
all shimmery and pink and blue
yeah,
as
that's
well.
really, yeah,
Obviously. Yeah, I love that.
obvious, yes, we've got
We're
vibes.
there. We're there.
like I like sci-fi that's colorful.
Yeah.
So we're going for it, lads. um and she just begins begins to kind of like look for tools, look for things
Mhm.
that she needs. I don't think she's gonna find what she's looking for before
Okay.
you arrive though.
No. No, I think that frantic, like, that is survive. That's the priority right now.
Yeah.
Um, I think Calanthe, in her haste and fear and she's not incompetent. She is good at this. She just
Hmm.
hasn't proven it to herself yet. And so she's a little overeager. I think she comes in a bit too hot.
Oh
I think
no.
she handles the landing that well. And also she's a little caught off guard. You're not doing anything. Like your mech is immobilized. And we've never if this is a new tactic, we've never seen this before.
The lights are off.
The lights are right, so now she's thinking, like, is it set to self-destruct? Is it, like, are they gonna move this asteroid into a particular she starts to panic, and she comes in a little bit hot. I don't think she impacts you, but I think she impacts nearby, and again, that streak of, like, track marks
Hmm.
across the ground, and impacts quite close. Um the immediate like training kicks in and the first thing that you do is analyze in a situation like this, and so tendrils begin to peel away, like these metallic green tendrils peel away from the literally from the hull of the mech and connect to yours and start reading your systems, trying to figure out what is going on, what you are doing, feeding this information back to like command. And she's got like several screens. You can't live with only just one screen. Everybody knows this. So she's got several screens over on this side, and she's like trying to arm some sort of defensive weapon in case your mech suddenly comes to life. but at the same time trying to decode what it is you're doing. And is now the time to lock eyes?
I think what happens, if you'll let me kind of insert some narrative on your side,
Please.
is that you know, like the progress bars, the vertical ones? I think
Yes.
what happens is your like a kind of light flashes and like you start to see like the life support systems are gradually decreasing um in her mech, and that's literally the only issue with it. And
Got
like
you.
as you kind of look out through like the glass, like you kind of just like see her like tools in hand just
Mhm,
stopping and like staring at you. She's unarmed, like she's got like repair tools,
mhm,
um but like she's not like she's like just kind of like disarmed, and she's shocked that anyone would think to follow her because what
mhm,
she did was like a survival mode and not a I should have checked my ass mode.
mhm.
um so she's just kind of like, oh,
Shit.
oh. Yeah.
I love the idea that, Calanthe is herself is gonna figure out what's going on before the computers manage it, because
Mhm.
there are some emotions and some intentions that computers just can't read. But
Mhm.
maybe, like, you're frantically working away, maybe at that exact moment, like, your cockpit lights come back on, and then
Yeah.
suddenly she can see you clearly,
Mhm.
and this is absolutely the first time that she has seen any of your kind up close, and it's
Mhm.
absolutely the first. Every training video, you're shown as soldiers, but
Mhm.
you're a little bit damaged, a little bit broken, incredibly vulnerable, and you have that mask off, and I've never seen, like, a full face, and she's absolutely captivated, obviously, by the eyes. She
Mhm.
didn't know that your species' eyes could look like that.
Yeah, with all of like the stars and stuff.
Mhm.
Um,
She has to take a beat, she has to take a moment, and all she can think is, like, the amongst all the emotions and the panic is that person needs help, and the
mhm.
conflict that arises from that of, "I shouldn't help this person. I should destroy this person. What do I do?"
Mhm. Like there's this moment, and when like Rosaline realizes that you're taking too long, like some like warning lights start to go off. Like I think like kind of like brain Taylor, come up with words. Like quite harsh oranges, like in
Mm,
amongst like all of the blues and purples and pinks. Um and she just like can't stop
mhm,
any longer, and like a door is thrown open and like she kind of like crawls out, and it is kind of like a crab on the surface. Like she's moving along this mech with like a kind of like scuttling fluidity,
mhm,
um and begins to seal from the outside
mhm,
the damage back to you, even though like you could technically shoot.
mhm.
um oh, we got another face paint thing.
Another
uh
face paint.
but I think that's currently the vibe, is like she's turned her back to you.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What you don't realize is she's watching you in the reflection of her mech, but she's quite confident that she can like um just
She can do both.
she can do both. Porque no los dos.
Okay. Um, and this is just even more confusing to Calanthe, like, nobody's ever done that, nobody has ever turned their back, because why would you?
I can sense a newbie a mile off.
Um, she she suddenly feels guilty, she feels scared of being in the wrong, and so the only thing that she can think to do is to try and hide this moment, hide this emotion, and so her mech is equipped with, it's like a cloaking shield, but, the way this technology implements that is it's actually just like, um, spores release from the surface of her mech,
Oh
and
no.
They replicate like there is some phenomenon, and if actual space people who knew science were here, they would probably tell me what it is, but it causes light to refract off of
Mm.
that surface so that what is behind can't really be seen. And as she's doing that, she's still getting all this information um from her mech, and she's starting to read what is wrong. She can see the levels that are depleting and where the exact damage is. I think she can see that. She puts that together and sees that that's what you're doing, but there's another leak. There's a tiny, tiny fracture in a slightly different place that you haven't seen.
Yes.
And if she lets you complete this fix and go on your way, you were not going to get far. That crack is going to that is a weak point that is going to give in. And you clearly haven't realized that.
Mm-hmm.
And in this moment that she has bought this extra time, she doesn't know why she does it. But she hits a button inside her mech. She activates her own sort of self-repair, but and I'll give a moment for you to react to this as well, because what you will see as you're watching in the reflection is like a protrusion extending your way, and you may or may not interpret it as a potential attack. What she's intending to do is to reach out and drop this like um, hyper hyperadhesive sap that is generated on their home world in the hopes that it will seal the crack.
I think what happens, this isn't on our lines and veils.
Okay,
So I'm gonna float something to you because
hit me.
I like this romance trope.
Mhm.
I think what happens is she just like kind of flips so she's facing you and draws a gun and
Oh,
points it
fun
at
one.
like hydraulics. No, not at you, but at like something
Yeah.
that's like, if I clip this, you're gonna be in some serious trouble.
Yep.
Um, and watches what the arm does to kind of react to, but not take the first shot,
Yes.
because I
Okay.
do kind of low key love
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
the I'm gonna threaten the person I'm in love with a weapon
Absolutely.
trope.
No. Please, I'm so here for it. Um, in her cockpit, she holds up her hands, and then, like telepathically, with a quick thought, she directs the arm that has made its way out to you, um, to turn and sort of drip a tiny bit of the sap close to you, so that you can see what it is, so that your systems can have a chance to analyze it and see that it isn't a threat in and of itself.
Like where she's outside and she threw off her visor, she doesn't have anything to analyze this, but I do think that she recognizes what this is just from how much experience she has in combat.
Yeah.
And so she just kind of like gives like a single nod. But now what, like, she is not looking at what is happening to her mech, she's looking directly at you
Yeah.
and like locking eyes with you, like unblinking in a way that would be incredibly off-putting if
Mhm.
you couldn't like see like there is a little there's this it's not like aggression that she's looking at you with, it's with
Mhm.
curiosity.
But intense, like, there's an
Yeah, like
intensity there.
it's incredibly
Yeah,
intense.
obviously.
Um, but like she's just watching you.
Calanthe's mech will, like, very, very slowly, like, obviously taking time to not move quickly and give you any reason to react. She will set that tendril away to complete that repair
Mhm.
and retract the analytical ones, the ones that are reading your mech,
Mhm.
and instead will sort of extend them your way. Again, very, very slowly, and if a plant tendril could have a palm, it would be palm up. It would be in this sort of gesture of, again, curiosity, but with a, much less intensity in a very cautious kind of way, with the hope that you interpret that as, I wanna learn about you. I wanna know about you and not the mech now."
Haha, joke's on you. Um, I think Like, she glances down, sees that the thing is repaired, knows the hole behind her is repaired, and she looks at you, and like, incredibly quickly, like, scuttles away, and gets back inside her mech. And as she turns with her, like, how far she's going, like, I'm gonna say that the token drops, where she's moving quickly and falls onto the surface, of, like, this tiny little planet that we're on. Um, she gets back in, like, takes one last look at you, puts her visor back on, and, like, literally, like, when you're on the side of the swimming pool and you just literally push back and away?
Mhm.
I think that she does that, and, like, immediately, like, she has done what she needed to do, and she only knows how to do what she knows how to do.
Yeah.
And so she's gonna, like, push away, stay facing you for like a hot second, maybe a
Mhm.
second too long, um, and then turns the mech around, feeling comfortable, like, that you've not moved.
Yeah. No, she doesn't move.
Um, Feeling comfortable to turn her back again, and she doesn't go back to the front line. She goes
Yeah.
back to the cruiser.
Yeah. I love that. I also just love the imagery of how, like, she pushes away,
Mhm.
but for those few moments that they've been there, they've been surrounded by this, like, reflective spore cloud,
Mhm.
and so it's like they've been in their own little cocoon, but as she pushes away, she kinda disrupts the flow of it,
Mhm.
and it just, like, swirls behind her and leaves this hole, and
Yes.
all that Calanthe can see is this gap in her a
Yes.
gap in her defenses, who knew?
I love it.
Um, so she reports back, like, she's got this voice in her head like, "Calanthe, where are you? What happened?" And all she can report back is combatant removed um, from the from the battlefield. She's
Love
gone.
it. Yes. 10
It's
out of
not the
10.
truth,
Fantastic.
it's not entirely a
It's
lie.
not a lie, and that's the important thing, 'cause he didn't technically lie.
Not
Oh my gosh,
technically.
I love it. This
Yes.
is the this is exactly why I've made this game.
Yes, and you've made it so well. It works
Thank you.
so well.
Also, shout out to Nathan Blades for the prompts
Yeah,
for this.
Nathan was in chat.
Nathan,
This
this is
setting is
so good.
absolutely wonderful.
Okay, right. Scene 2. We're gonna roll. You right?
I didn't do my face paint because I was
Oh,
so
that is
into the romance, I'm sorry.
so valid. Okay, so we are going to go to the space station of the Soul Sisters.
Oh,
We
heck
can
yeah.
kind of dive into more of what that is and what that means in a moment. I would like to get us to roll our fate die first
Let's do it.
because this all depends on what is gonna happen to us.
Can we do it again? Do we wanna do it again? Or is it more interesting if we have space now?
Let's see.
Space.
We've always got space.
We'll always have space.
I got a
Uh,
2.
for the audience, for the viewers at home, what die should we be rolling
This
now?
is a D10, so we've gone down a die size. So it's more likely that we'll meet, but it's still like a pretty big gap.
Oh, I got a 3.
Okay, so if the rolls are within one of each other, for example, a 2 and a 3, which is exactly what it says in the in the game text, your characters see one another clearly as they enter and exit the scene, but cannot interact. Now, because I rolled lowest,
Mhm.
I go first.
Okay.
So this one is not going to be as collaborative. This is just going to be us taking turns, and we'll have what we call a crossover in the middle when the complication arises. So
Amazing.
speaking of, you rolled
A 3.
you rolled last time for the complication, so
Yes,
I'll
that's
roll this
true.
time.
Yes.
So I'll get my little D4 out,
Beautiful.
and that is a 2. Wow,
Ooh, what is a
uh,
2?
a 2. Are the planetary militia raids? Who tipped them
Oh.
off?
Ooh,
Okay, so
interesting, interesting.
let's queue up the scene together, and then I'll kind of take the reins before the crossover.
Yeah, absolutely.
So the space station of the Soul Sisters is a self-sustaining community adrift.
Mhm,
They have to fight too, but what drives them is completely different.
mhm.
So let's kind of take a second to define um this group a little bit to kind of give us an idea of what we're doing?
Yeah. So we talked about this briefly in our session 0, and didn't we decide that they were going to be they're kind of neutral in this
Yeah.
conflict. They haven't picked a side. They're
Mhm.
just unfortunately caught up in it because maybe they depend on trade, they depend on resources, and it's been all encompassing, this conflict. Nobody in the galaxy is untouched by it. And as much as they try to remain self-subsistent, there are some things that they just can't provide for themselves.
Mhm.
Um, but it's a hub. We may have agreed on this, or this may just be my headcanon. It's like one of those, you get them in every sci-fi, like, this is the hub. This is the
Mhm.
melting pot where all the different people come and go, all the traders, all the, the sky the hum I've been doing this all week. The hum of Skyve and villainy. Hum, scum and villainy.
Yes,
Hive of scum and villainy. There we go. I did it.
you got it.
But all life is here. All different types of people are here, and if you need something, you can probably get it here. You can probably meet the right person here.
Um, I think so. I think so. I think we discussed that this is kind of like almost like a touristy stopping point on the way to
Mm,
like other things as well.
yeah.
Love that. Okay, right. So for the most part, they're self-sustaining. But some things they can't get, and they rely on both Zeta 8
Yeah.
and Taylor is gonna scroll back.
Golahora?
Uh, Golo Holon, yeah. For trading for things that they can't get themselves. I really like this idea of the space station. Like everything feels so big, but when you're in a spaceship, it kind of feels like quite claustrophobic at times because there's a
Mm,
lot packed into a little space. I like the idea of this space station being like think like cathedral, like like England had all of the like ruined cathedrals and castles and like how like big archways and all of that kind of
yeah.
stuff. I'm kind of imagining a space where that even though it's really busy,
Mhm.
like when you're just kind of alone with the architecture, you feel incredibly small.
Yes.
Um, which I think is very interesting for
Mm.
mech pilots. Um, yeah, okay.
Especially given we have, like, both of our cultures' technology has very distinct influences and aesthetics. And
Mhm.
again, I like the idea of, like, yes, they're neutral in this conflict. They're neutral in most things. They're not affected by either of those two things. So the way that it's structured and the way that it's built is again like very, very different for both of us.
Mhm. Yeah, I like that. So, we're gonna take that
Mhm.
as like a starting off point. Let me just build up scenes. We've rolled the dice.
Mhm.
We rolled for the complication. The lowest person starts first. So, I begin by describing the scene, using the prompt that we've chosen. Um, then explain what I'm doing there. Um, narrate, describe what's going on, and then partway into the scene, the complication is going to arise.
Mhm.
I will react to it. Then the result of our fate die will come into play, and I will exit the scene and give narrative control over to you. Feel free to
Okay.
interject where you want to.
I was gonna
This is
ask, do you want
not
me
a
to ask
yeah,
questions and help
yeah,
build
yeah.
the scene?
So
Cool.
this is not a I'm doing this on my own now. This is a very much we're partners in this.
We're so
Like
partners.
we're partners. There's two of us. We're both in charge of like this story. So
I love that.
like feel free to interject
Cool.
because relationships are give and take.
Absolutely.
And we're trying to emulate a relationship here. So fantastic. So um I th- I know space stations don't have day and night cycles.
Mhm. Some of them do.
Um, some of them do. This one kind of does. It has like times where it's busier and times where it's not. Um, I think that the lights here, like there's like loads of like these circular lights everywhere.
Mm.
And they change color depending on what time of like day or night it is. So it's like it'll be like red at night time and then like a yellowish white during the daytime,
Mhm.
kind of thing. And it cycles like a clock.
Mhm.
Um, on its own. So we see walking beneath like we've got like this towering like grey arches that are covered in like graffiti, like the big letters, but it's all in like alien languages,
Mhm.
like with like the pinks and like the lime greens, and that kind of like splashes behind it. Like it's all very intentional. It's an
Mhm.
art style. It's not defacing property here. And like you can see where like art styles change, where somebody's come and like added something to it.
Mm.
Um, and we see Rosaline in a completely different outfit to her like chrome mech pilot jumpsuit. She's got like knee-high white lace-up platform boots.
Ooh.
And she's wearing like like a little like pink like neon pink dress with like a little like tutu skirt and stuff, like all of her purple skin, like you can see like there are some tattoos on her bicep,
Ooh.
of like some flowers, and stuff, and there's some saran wrap around it. She's recently had another flower added. What it means TBD. Um, like hair down, like she's got this like quite dark blue, I think hair just like down and wavy and free, completely different
Mhm.
person because she's on leave. I think she's going to meet like a cousin, and go to an underground. It's like the place has been made to look like an air vent, but it is not a functioning air vent. It's literally all aesthetics.
Incredible.
And it plays like deep bass rave music that makes like the walls and the fans vibrate.
Mhm.
And the fans will definitely have like glow sticks stuck to the edge of them, so when they turn, it like makes the circle, you know.
This is an aesthetic that you are building here.
Look,
It's real.
I'm here for the vibe. Um and it's like this is one of those from dawn till dusk like parties. So it's like the lights all around her are like kind of like orange turning into the white. Because I know
Mhm.
typically these things happen like from dusk till dawn, but they do it on the inverse here because why not?
Mhm.
Um, and so she's just kind of alone in the early morning by herself, dressed up, ready for a party.
Incredible.
Just like admiring how like because this is all so like intentional and not natural, but like beautiful
Yeah.
still. And she's just kind of wandering along, like looking at um all of this art on the arches. And I think the sky above, which is like it's like hundreds of feet up, um is like, like the crisscross glass, so
Mm.
you can see out into space and you can see the stars
Yeah.
and the darkness outside.
Yeah.
And it's like all of these panels, and they look so small, but if you got up close, then they'd be massive,
Mhm.
kind of thing. And I think as she's kind of looking around, something like she notices something out of the corner of her eye. And I think that maybe it's this militia like coming in, and they're coming in quite hot.
Whose militia is this, do we think?
This is a very good question.
Mm.
Like, how did you want to make your entrance? Are you also here on holiday, or are you coming in with the militia?
I did wonder about that.
What do you
If
want to do?
I she's definitely not here to rave. I can tell you that much. That is definitely not Calanthe's scene.
Hmm.
Whether or not she might be here, if it is like truly a hub, if it's got all kinds, if anything, she might be here. Um, we agreed this was going to be like it's not a mission. She is
Hmm.
here on some time off, but she probably is here for a slightly more academic reason, if anything.
Hmm.
So I think I'd be happy to go in that direction rather than
Yeah.
I think I'd rather use the militia as another third party, um,
Yeah.
rather than when picking sides.
Mhm.
So, excuse me. Let's say then that there is um, a galaxy-renowned library here on this station, but
Mhm.
it's not like it's not like a library that as you or I would think of it. It isn't published books or historical texts or um, academia, for lack of a better word. This is the largest repository of haha, I found it. There it is. Of like self-published things, of zines and journals
Oh my
and just like
gosh.
collected writings, even like just scraps of writings from across the galaxy that the sisters of the station have gathered together.
There are
Um
so many TTRPGs in there.
there are so many unfinished TTRPGs in
Ah,
there.
that's so tragic.
There's like
You kn
a whole section for people's like brain dump lists. This is my notebook where I just write my ideas that I'm never
Oh
self
my
call out.
I absolutely love that. It reminds me of not in execution, but in vibes. You know, there's like the bridge in France where you go and you padlock a wish.
Yes, kind of that.
Like
Yeah.
it like in vibes, it
Yeah.
reminds me of that.
Yeah. It's very much like these are not the things that are deemed worthy or like knowledgeable or correct by society's terms. These are small scraps of knowledge and wisdom on a much more personal level. And so she's heard about this, and this is what she's here to visit, to be inspired, to maybe, if she feels so bold, submit a journal of her own.
Oh, I love that. I love that.
So yeah, she's in the same place for a very, very different reason. Um, yeah, no, you go ahead for now.
Okay. Do you think that you're walking along the same place as me?
If it's early morning,
Like in the maybe in the opposite direction, but do you think you're
mhm,
in the same general area as me? Is my first question, and then I have a follow-up question.
why not? Yes,
Follow-up question: am I okay to return the favor?
absolutely.
Fantastic. Here's my pitch.
Go for it.
I think they're coming in hot, and I think they're not planning to stop
Mhm,
because you can definitely fit like small shuttles, like have them like moving around in because of how the big scale of this
mhm.
site, right? I think like we're kind of walking each in our own heads. Um, I notice they're coming in hot, and I'm looking around to see who else is here, and I spot you.
Yes.
And what I would like to do, um, is they crash through.
Oh, shit, okay.
I think they're
Like,
gonna crash.
literally in their shuttle, they crashed through the
Yeah,
station?
I think they're gonna
Okay.
crash straight into
I
the
thought you
station.
meant they were, like, a squadron on foot, and they were, like, running
No,
through the
no, no, no,
station to
no,
track
no.
somebody down. You
They're
took
on
it to
stage.
10. Perfect.
I'm taking this to 10
All
because
the
why
way.
not? I think that they're coming in, and without thinking, I'm going to run towards you. Um, I'm going to literally like kind of like this is breaking the rules a little bit, but I'm going to.
It's your game.
It's my game. I can do what I want because it's like a whole we lock eyes, and I think having a like a very brief interaction works.
Yeah.
I would like to like I like the idea that in these arches are like you know like the vacuum tunnels that like shoot you off somewhere.
Yes, like,
Um
escape pods or,
like
like, the
escape pods but like
pneumatic tubes.
pneumatic tubes. That's what
Yes,
I'm
yes,
thinking of,
yes.
right. I would like to grab you around the waist, put you in a tube because you're the only other person around and you
Mhm.
haven't seen this, and then get in a different tube myself and we split off.
Yes.
Is do you consent to that?
Absolutely, absolutely. I
And
think
I would like to think that as we kind of like as I'm shutting the door, it's like that brief moment of recognition, but the crash is happening above us.
yeah,
So it's literally a case of we need to get out of dodge real quick,
yeah.
and there's no time to interact.
Mhm. It's literally just like survival instinct kicks in.
Yeah,
You wanna get away from this, and your training kicks in that you get out anybody else who is with you.
yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I
So
love
that's
that
my
so
pitch.
much.
So I've done a lot. Um, the last thing I'll say is that there's like a look of like shock,
Mhm,
and you know when you like unintentionally run into somebody that you know,
mhm.
um, like,
But,
and
like, they've
she's,
already gone past.
yeah, and it's just like she is not, she's like in her I'm comfortable being me
Mhm,
thing, and like this is like the most personality that she ever expresses. Um, and but she's like acting like a soldier, and
mhm.
it's like that kind of like there's a whole bunch of mental math that is happening in the threat of like this crash and stuff happening that she just can't process, and it's
Yeah.
like stuck buffering in her eyes.
Mhm,
um Absolute shock, as but she just slams the door and like runs across the way and jumps
mhm.
in her own one.
Amazing.
And as we go up, we can kind of look at each other for you to do your thing, but
Yeah.
I am now going to shut up and let you take the reins.
Okay. Incredible. Um, Calanthe is completely unaware of any of this happening until it's already started happening.
Mhm,
Um, I love the idea that, we have such different rhythms that this is you getting ready it's early in the morning, this is you getting ready to go out. She is on her way to retire, like, she's spent the day in this library, and the figure that you will turn and see walking along this corridor where you are, um, seeing her out of her mech, she's actually, like, way smaller than you would think. The way that your people take up quite a bit of space, like, you build your mechs around your bodies.
mhm.
Um, Calanthe's people are quite small, and so they build their mechs to make them look bigger. So she's quite small. Oh, face paint again. Thank you for the donation, everybody.
Oh, you can't really see the orange. I'm gonna change this color.
Mine don't even look like hearts. I wouldn't worry about it. Like, what is that? I'm
Look,
not sure.
I've said I would do a thing. I'm gonna do the thing, and I'm gonna do
Commit,
it so well.
commit to the
I'm
bit.
gonna be beautiful, and I will be posting a picture on social media after this.
Excellent. I'm gonna touch these up before I do. So she's quite a slight figure. You probably see the wings for the first time, and you see the both the wings and her. I think these people do have skin rather than the full exoskeleton, but maybe there are elements of like scales, just like patches of scales along certain stretches of the surface of the skin. Um, and she is very like her coloring is very. I picture all these beetles as being like quite jewel toned, and if she was a gem, I think she'd be sort of topaz, that kind of rich orange. So that is reflected in her scales, and it's definitely reflected in like the shimmer of her wings. In contrast, she's wearing very plain clothes. I think like tones of gray and brown because she's just not to dress up the way that you are is just not a thing that would ever occur to her.
Mhm.
And she is like clutching a satchel, like she has a backpack on, like a selection of books in her arms, and she's tired, but in that sort of glowy, happy, I've spent the day doing what I want to do, and I'm really contented about it way.
Mhm.
So she's just slowly walking around the corridor, and then she's there's hands on her. You've grabbed her and you're moving her, and I don't think she even looks you in the face. She immediately begins looking around. That soldier survival mode kicks in, looking around to see what is happening, clocks the militia careening into the station, and it isn't until you've taken your hands off her again that she looks you in the eye. And the cold chill, like being dunked in water of it's you, and then the doors are closed, and all that she's left with is like the feet, like the warm imprint of your fingers where they were on her shoulders, and then she's moving. I'm pretty good at this, Taylor.
You're
I'm
so
pretty good
good
at
at this.
Um, and she shoots off. I love the idea that we both go up, and there's almost that like crisscrossing passing of
Yes.
route, but then they peel away, and we're off to
Mhm.
different sides of the station entirely.
Mhm.
You would probably have noticed one last thing. She has like a you ever make your own necklace when you were like in your teens, 20s, 30s, and it's just like a shoe, like it's just a shoelace with some like a pendant tied on it, like some knickknack or like gem or whatever. There's a very very recognizable three gemmed pendant hanging from this like cord around her neck.
Yes! I don't know, TBD whether that gets clocked or not.
Yeah, it's
So
there. Where they clock it.
the camera, like, zooms in on that, I think. I would love for you to, like, wrap up this narrative
Yes, I am
of
aware
what
that
happened with the no, 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 no,
I'm
no, no.
aware of time. I'm aware
Oh,
of
no,
it.
no, not time. Just in, like, a what is happening with this militia that's just crashed into the base.
Not a
I've
lot.
made a
They just crashed
problem.
into a
I've made
base.
a problem. Can you fix it?
This is your problem now.
Like, what world building wise, because this will impact the next scene, what do you think has happened?
I feel like I don't feel like that's a very valid strategy for a militia, so I feel like that's probably an accident.
Mm,
Um
mhm, mhm,
I do feel like there are a lot like before they get very far up these pneumatic transport tubes, there are alarms going off all through the station because proximity alerts kick in. This could be attack. Um, so by the time the tube spits her out, there is activity everywhere. There are people running, there are guards directing people and stewards trying to get people safe, directing people to transports, directing people to um like escape hatches that are very similar to the pneumatic tubes, except they go out. Um, and it's just a sea of people. And while that would normally be very interesting and inspiring to her, she's just looking for one person, and she can't see you. Unbeknown to her, you're not. You're just not there. You're somewhere else.
mhm,
Um, and so I think before too long, she's herded away. As much as she might want to stay and wait for this crowd to thin and see if she can see any indication of you and where you were intending to go, she's herded back to safety, I think down to a hangar bay, plopped onto a cargo transport, and all the while there are like the guards are communicating, there are alerts going out, there are voices telling people to evacuate, and down on the lower levels where this militia transport has crashed. Um, who is this militia? Let's figure this out.
um, I don't think necessarily it needs to be a
I wonder if it
militia.
That's true, that's true.
We could make it we could almost make it like, a passenger ship.
True.
Like a passenger ship that, like, it doesn't matter why, like, something went wrong. And they basically their ship computers, they couldn't stop themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So
and
yeah.
it was just like it was like a freak accident. Like, I don't think the ships in the hangars even, like, take off
Mhm,
because things are kind of, like, sorted
mhm.
quite quickly when they realize it's not a threat, it's
It's
just an
not a threat.
accident. It's literally like a wrong place, wrong time
Yeah,
type situation. Um, People at home, if you play Not Yet, the prompts are there to kind of inspire you. You don't have to follow them word for
yeah.
word. So I like that.
I feel like, we've got an opportunity to do something with these sisters of, what are they called? Sisters of Soul? Soul
Sorry,
Sisters?
I'm on the wrong page. It's the space station of Soul Sisters. Yeah.
There you go. That maybe these people were on their way this was their destination, they just failed to stick the landing. Um, maybe there's somebody important on board, maybe there's somebody with some information, um because as a third party who's suffering from this intergalactic conflict, you would want it to end. And maybe somebody has something or knows something that could bridge the gap, that could maybe bring this conflict to a close, or at least get people talking about a ceasefire, get people talking about peace. And so they've brought it here. Like they're just a person. It's literally like Leia Organa. She's on her way to the people who can do
Yeah.
something with this information. And for whatever reason, they've chosen these Sisters of Soul.
Okay, I think that sounds good. I would like to just throw out like a movie shot clip
Yes.
of like all of these people around like this crashed spaceship.
Mhm.
And like you see like the little thing, like the ramp comes out, and like a couple of like tiny little like robots kind of like roll out, and then you kind of just see like a shadow like illuminated by like the light from inside the ship, and it's like this very tall figure with like antlers, uh,
Ooh.
throwing in deer people.
Let's
um
go Has Been Hotel reference. Come on.
and that is where we're going to cut this scene. We are halfway through our allotted time right now. So we're going to take a quick break, everyone. We're just going to take 10 minutes, just so that way we can hydrate, bio, and there is going to be a giveaway that's going to be
Yeah.
happening during the break in chat. The instructions will be given out by our moderators. Our current total is £1,305. Thank
Ooh.
you so much, everyone who's been donating. You are all absolutely wonderful. This is a great cause, and we really appreciate you sticking around and enjoying this game with us, raising money for Doctors Without Borders. So we will see you in 10 minutes. Thank you. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Roll for Good's charity stream raising money for Doctors Without Borders. My name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns, and this is my lovely co star.
I'm JC Darcy. I use they, she pronouns.
And we're playing Not Yet, a romantic duet ttrpg. Thank you so much for sticking with us or for joining us if you've just hopped in. I hope everyone had fun in the giveaway while we had our little break, but now we are ready to hop back into it. Where we left off, we're on a space station taking our annual leave from being space soldiers. And
What could
there
go
was
wrong?
what could go wrong? Well, apparently, a space shuttle has crashed into the space station that we're
I'm
on.
sure it's fine.
It's gonna be fine. It's okay. Just as a reminder, please do keep donating. All of this money does go to Doctors Without Borders. We do have donation incentives for £5. Darcy and I will insert a cheesy pickup line of our choice into the dialogue. For
We haven't got
£10,
to do
we'll
that
add
yet.
another heart to our faces. We're face painting while we play. It's not distracting at all. It's actually
Mm-mm.
quite fun. For £15, we'll give ourselves like a BB-8 Ewok cute little alien buddy who will help us out
Please,
in our romance.
please let us
Look,
do that.
please, we need wingmen. We can't do this alone.
Just
Please, I need a wing robot. And for £20, we have temporary. I have temporary tattoos. Darcy, you have jewels. I'll stick this on my face. I got little alien ones. Can you see? I want to use this one right here
you say
because
little,
that's
but
us.
on your face, that's gonna be huge. That's gonna
Yeah.
take up so much space.
You know what? It's for charity. We're living La Vida Loca.
This is what we
Um,
do.
Fantastic. So, we're gonna go into our next scene. This is going to be scene 3, but because we are starting to run out of time, we're gonna speed up. And we're gonna skip a scene. So what I would like to say is instead of rolling the D8 for this scene, as is typical, we're gonna roll the D. So we're gonna do our Darcy on the sheet. We're gonna do our scene 3 location, but we're
Yes,
gonna use the scene 4 die and roll a D6
I'm
instead
with
of
you.
a D8. Does
I'm
that
with
make
you.
sense?
Yeah. Are we still
Yeah.
gonna? Are we planning to montage scene 4?
We might montage scene 4. We'll see how we're doing on
Okay.
time,
Okay.
because we are getting towards the end of the charity weekend. I'm
Yeah,
so sad it's over already, but it's been a blast.
I have.
Um,
We want to get to our finale. We want to get to the big bit.
we have to get to our finale. If we don't, I'll cry.
Yep,
So
it's that simple.
all right. See. Okay.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Right.
What?
So,
So again, for not for me, for people at home who don't know, what die should I be rolling?
so we're going to be rolling d6s this time.
D6.
So let's roll for that, and then it's your turn to roll for the complication.
Absolutely, I love that. Okay, here's my D6.
I rolled a 4.
Ooh. Oh, I rolled a 5.
Okay. I do just want to remind you, you might not want to use it now, but the token you can add or subtract up to 2 from your
Ooh.
roll. I don't know if you want to use
Ooh,
it now or save it for the next scene, to make the next scene extra spicy one way or another. Um,
what
but
it so
this
yeah,
is
I'm gonna
the
save it. We've got one more. One more.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll save
Okay.
it. I'll save it for now.
Okay, so we rolled within one of each other, so
Mhm.
we're going to see each other clearly,
Yep,
but we don't get to interact, or we don't get to like have a conversation.
cool.
So you rolled what?
I rolled a 5.
Oh, so I start the scene again. However, I do actually want to flip it and reverse it because I started the last scene.
Okay,
So even though I got the lowest number and technically I should go first, I do want to give you some narrative control.
that's fine.
Um, and
I
I'm
am
gonna give
happy
you
either way.
well, let's roll the complication
Okay.
and so roll me a d4, please.
D4. Let's find a nice D4. Let's do a blue one. Oh, I don't have a blue one. Purple. I want to point out that all my dice are blue, purple, and pink.
Perfect.
Fated. That's a 1.
Okay. Having fun isn't free. Someone offers a tricky deal to get what you need.
Ooh, interesting. And this is on the same station.
Yeah, so unless you want to go to the other location.
No, I think we've got more to do. I think there's more story to be told with where we are, especially with the excuse me, with the seeds that we've lain.
I'm
I'm
here for
happy to
that.
stay where we are.
Okay, so we're still on the space station of the Soul Sisters.
We are, and there was a crash of some third party people that um we posited might be potential peace brokers. So just read me
Mhm.
the prompt one more time if you wouldn't mind, the complication.
So having fun isn't free. Someone offers a tricky deal to get what you need.
Okay.
Remember, this is just an inspiration. It doesn't. You
Yeah.
don't have to follow it word for word.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I like the implication that fun we have had our fun. Presumably that wasn't your only rave night cut short. You've been enjoying your leave
Mhm.
and excuse me. And Calanthe has spent many an hour in the little library. Um let's I'm so sorry.
You're good. I'm gonna vamp for a second, and I do think that this is like at least like a week kind of later.
Okay.
And we start the scene looking at that crash site, and you can see like droids like patching over, like fitting in new glass, like taking out broken shards,
hmm
and like just repairing. And you can see kind of visibly, like the kind of bluey holographic like air bubble. Like the shields are back intact.
Yes.
Everything is fine. Like the
This
space
area is safe
station
again.
is like hospitable. There are people moving around on the floor. Like a lot of people turn and look just because like it's a visual. It's like something like very strong and visual. But
Mhm.
life continues on this space station.
Yeah, and I think it has done in the way that it always does, which is this is a place we established as like full of life, full of people,
Mhm.
full of chatter and movement. And I think the rumors about this crash have been just rife throughout the station.
Mm.
I think word travels fast, but it's like the most intense game of telephone ever. Like the meaning changes like from the moment they crashed till now, these people who were on board the ship have been everything from smugglers to soldiers to spirits of space come to wreak havoc. Nobody is clear exactly who they are, where they were going, and what their intention was. Um, and so this area especially has become a hub of this is like a sightseeing spot now. This is a new tourist attraction on board. People come by to look at the site of what happened and the remnant. I'm assuming like the ship is still there itself. It's being repaired and slowly taken out, but it is still there to be looked at. And people are trying to discern what is the ship, where did it come from, who were the people on board, and what was their intention. And as much as she tries to stay away from crowds and isn't usually all that interested in gossip, Calanthe is very, very drawn to this place. Like the mystery, the intrigue is is more than she can resist, and that the will to find out is quite strong. She has been to see the ship, but she doesn't recognize the make or the technology or the insignia or anything about it. But I think one day as she is, let's say that she's sketching it, she accepts that she's not gonna be able to figure this out here and now, but she has a fresh journal and, she's come across managed to obtain some rare, um, space charcoal, like, charcoal from a very specific kind of tree.
Mhm.
And she's just, like, lazily sketching it. She's lounging on a bench underneath an arch, and she has her back up against the plexiglass, and just the galaxy is passing by behind her, and she's just sketching.
I love that. That's like a really beautiful, like, kind of visual.
Thank you. Um, I think she is approached by somebody. She's in her own little world, and she doesn't realize to begin with that she's being addressed. But somebody addresses her, somebody approaches her and asks, like, addresses her by name, and she's startled by this and didn't expect to be recognized for who she was. There's a moment of panic that, she's a soldier now, and has she let her guard down too much? Is there somebody from the other side come to take her out, to get her? But the face that she looks up at is, let's invent some new people.
Yes, we need
Oh,
NPCs.
is this a dear person? Is this a no, okay, it's not she doesn't immediately see antlers, but what she sees is a humanoid face that has quite an elongated, sort of nose, with a large, soft, black, like, velvety kind of button nose, and
Yes.
it's not quite skin, but it is that kind of soft,
I know
fur,
exactly what you
like,
mean.
velvety fur.
Mhm.
Um, there are, like, spots marking around the forehead and, very sort of, again, the soft, velvety, kind of droopy ears.
Mhm.
Um, so like a deer person, but like a a deer person.
A Jane Doe, if you will. Yeah.
Her name is Jane. Um, no, she approaches and says, "I'm sorry, is your name Calanthe?" And Calanthe has that moment of panic, reaches for a weapon that isn't there, looks to defend herself, is immediately clocking the exits, but eventually recognizes that this is a crowded place and this person is I think she's probably pretty good at reading body language and intent by now, and as soon as that training kicks in, she realizes this person means her no harm. And she says that, again, this rumor mill has been working overtime, and despite Calanthe's efforts to remain in the background and unseen, the word on the station is that I am, an operative from Golohoron.
Mhm.
And, this person who introduces themselves as Yasmin,
Nice.
um, thank you, um, says, I've been asked to seek you out and, see if you might be interested in a deal. Um, this is a dangerous proposition, but we understand that you are not entirely like the rest of your people, and you might be willing to take a chance. And basically, she gives Calanthe the details of a meeting that is going down. She doesn't tell her much more than that and encourages her um, to keep it under wraps, but to arrive at let's say, like, in a cargo hangar on some of the lower levels. She gives her, like, a bay,
Mhm.
of where a particular, like, freight container is and tells her to meet there at, like, the middle of the night or the middle of the morning, however it may be.
Mhm. I
And
really like that. I've got an idea,
please.
if you're happy for me to jump in,
Absolutely.
of how this crossover can happen.
Mhm,
So I think as like Calanthe is like approaching at the time,
mhm,
um, as you're kind of like getting into the hangar, like this is like the only shuttle in here,
mhm,
and the door opens and you're expecting to see more doe people, and actually out comes three people, with Rosaline being in the front, and the
Mhm.
other two looking like they're clearly the same like race, but they're
Yes.
like different.
Mhm.
And she's kind of leading the way, having just spoken, and a dear person, like quite young, like antlers are starting to kind of come
Mhm.
in. It's kind of like trailing them out, just kind of make sure that they leave okay.
Mhm.
Um, but Rosaline, different outfit now, kind of um like still like shiny silver like cargo pants,
Mhm.
like thick chunky like Doc Martens,
Amazing.
uh
Space Dog Martins.
space Doc Martens, like neon green tank top, and she's like adorned in like these glass beads, like almost like imagine like ropes of pearls kind of thing, but
Mhm.
it's like all of these like glass beads kind of thing. um like not like looking like a woman on who has just been given a very serious task, and like
Mhm.
you can see the people behind her like kind of whispering and leaning into each other, and having a discussion, and they stop upon seeing you,
Mhm.
and like you can kind of see her mouth moving, telling them something, but she doesn't, but you can't hear what she's saying,
Mhm.
and they just kind of carry on, like not like actually, yeah, past you, in a way that um like you kind of like, when like the air between the back of your hands kind of like does the thing where you feel the disturbance of the other person. I think you like she passes close enough that you can kind of feel that disturbance of air as she's next to you, and she doesn't look at you. She looks straight ahead until like the very last moment where like her head kind of tilts slightly towards you,
Mhm.
and then goes back again as she walks out, and then you can go in.
Mhm. I love that. I think throughout that, Calanthe's eyes are locked on her. It's like the opposite. She's afraid to take her eyes off her in case she disappears. But then the moment that you do go to like there is a split second of eye contact. You ever like been looking at somebody and then they look up at you and you do that blink? No, I wasn't looking. I really
Yes.
wasn't looking. It's that. It's fear at being caught
Mhm.
and trying to hide what she was thinking and what she was feeling. Um, which is mostly confusion. Like a lot of this is just confusion. How is this happening? What is going on? This is all so much bigger than me. But being the person that she is, she can't help but again be fixated on those eyes. Like that, the beauty of those eyes is unlike anything she's ever seen across the galaxy. And also this like tiny just fragment of hope that has sparked inside her since the conversation with Yasmin.
Mhm. Mhm.
Knowing that you were there, I think she can extrapolate what that means, that there is something being brokered here.
And I think to kind of like take the camera and kind of reaffirm like that information. Like Rosaline, like they close to like clearly like living quarters.
Mhm.
And like there's like like those inflatable sofas. Um
This is all so painfully 90s, yes.
yes. Um this is a room. There's like a pond, like a raised like glass tank that's like kind of like figure of eight shaped,
Cool.
with like the oval glass top, and like some flowers and stuff. There's like bubble armchairs. There's like holographic screens,
There's a
and like
lava lamp, let's be
there's
honest.
there's a lava lamp in the corner. Um, that kind of stuff. And like in like military precision, because Rosaline's no longer on holiday. Like she goes to the central room and her companions flank off to the side.
Mhm.
And like you can see like there's a suitcase open, and like the hot pink dress is like folded neatly on top. And the case, and like she kind of closes the case and picks up files off of the desk, and stuff. And the one that you see that's on top is actually Calanthe's file. It's like a picture. It's a picture of her, Like, this is, like, the most dull thing. It's like, like, those paper, things. It's like that bluey gray, and it's
Mhm.
got the paper clip, and and there's an official photo, but then there's, like,
Mhm.
a couple of, like, snapshots that have been taken around the space station,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
one of them is, like, Calanthe and that meeting with
Mhm.
Yasmin.
Can I
Um,
also make a suggestion
yes.
that you may have taken that file and cross-referenced it with the library and
Ah,
found a journal that Calanthe submitted?
yeah. I think so. I think, like, the journal is, like, open on the side with, like, a
Mhm.
bookmark, and she just like, closes it, puts it in a packet, and, like, drops it into, like, a pneumatic tube to return it to the library without having to go there,
Mhm.
because it's sci-fi. You don't need to walk places if you don't
No.
want to. She picks up her case, tucks the files under her arm, and, like, they leave.
Mhm.
And I think that's a great place to kind of end that scene.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Did she
Um,
read it? Would she read the journal?
she did. So it was open on, like, not quite the last page, but, like, a middle to last, and knowing
Mhm.
that she didn't have time and not wanting to take it from the library, she returned it before she got to the end.
I love that.
Um,
Lawful good, lawful good.
lawful good. Okay, right. In that case, I'm gonna close out this scene,
Yep.
and I'm gonna say that, based on time, we're not gonna montage the next scene.
No, I don't
We're
think we need
gonna
to.
go, straight to scene 5 because we still got to do scene 5 and scene 6.
I'm so sorry because I know scene 4 you were looking forward to scene 4.
No, that's okay. We can play this again.
Oh, oh no, what a chore
Oh,
that will
no.
be.
The replay value of this game.
Immense,
Ah, it's almost like
immense.
somebody intentionally made it this way. It was me, I intentionally
It
made
was
it
you,
this way.
and you did a great job.
Thank you. Great,
So,
okay, so
scene
this
5,
we've set ourselves up so well here.
done such a good job.
Um, Scene 5 is a meeting of tense minds. So, in a stark white meeting room, diplomats meet to negotiate. Rage bubbles. So, let's roll our fate die. We're rolling a d4 now. This is technically scene 5. This is the last time
Yep.
that we're going to be rolling dice this game.
Okay.
Uh, the game is almost over, so I do want to remind everyone watching to please donate to Doctors Without Borders. If you do different donation things, we will do different things, including cheesy pickup lines, more love hearts, cute sidekicks, and temporary tattoos.
Please
Uh,
let Taylor get a temporary tattoo before the end of
please
this
let
game.
me have a temporary tattoo that is definitely a stand-in for mine and Darcy's characters.
Mhm, mhm.
That or a unicorn. I tell you what, if you donate, I think you can leave, like, a message with your donations. You
Mm.
can choose alien or unicorn and choose
Ooh,
which tattoo I put on my face.
incredible.
Um, but last time we're rolling dice. So
I've done it,
grab
I've done it. My die is cast.
your dice cards. Okay, hang on, I'm doing mine. I got a 2.
Ah, I got a 4.
You've got a token. You can add or subtract 2. Because the thing is, so this is
Is
a
it
tense meeting, so we're
yeah.
gonna have to be in the same space.
Yes. Can I yeah. Can you do just 1 or does it have to
You
be
can
2?
do just one, yeah.
No, let's do it. Let's do no, let's keep the tension burning. Just let's move at 1. Let's go to 5.
Okay,
Well, no, I'll move down to 3, so we're 2 and
okay.
3.
Right, so I got the lowest. I'll start this scene.
Okay.
So, um, it's the sci-fi text on the bottom of the screen, which is just like stardate, blah blah blah, location somewhere in neutral space.
Ooh.
It starts off as, like, this huge ship that's, like, um it's like a globe in that, like, there's, like, light lines that kind of run in the shape of what you would imagine, like, continents to kind of be like,
Mhm.
but it's not any planet that you would recognize. Um, like, it's got, like, that kind of grid around it as well, so it does look like an old-timey globe, and I do think there's, like, like a little crescent around it that slowly kind of rotates. That's keeping the shields up. And we kind of zoom into that, and we're in like this stark white meeting room. It's huge, but you wouldn't know that because it's literally like all of that. Like, you know, in movies where they're like in the afterlife and it's just white.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no sense of scale here,
Yeah.
except there is because we've got a small party of diplomats, about 3 or 4 people, and standing behind them is a row of mechs.
Oh, nice.
I'm bringing the mechs back, lads. And like in like the left flanking mech, new windscreen. There's like a little like bubble on the dashboard. Like in front of like the art. It's like a figure in front of the arches with like mini spray paint details from the space station is like on the dashboard. And Rosaline is like that, like like her hands are like tight gripping like her things. Like the mech is like powered down, none of the lights are on.
Yeah.
And she knows how quickly she can boot up her systems, but she's still like holding on to like the physical joysticks. Just like absolutely tense because I think she spotted a familiar mech on the opposite side.
Yep.
And she can see you. And I want to give you this point to kind of jump in.
Yeah, she is with Calanthe is with a group of others. I think they tend to move in groups. And this squadron lands in like perfect formation, and they like disembark. They leave their mechs like almost in like perfect synchronization. They all move in exactly the same way. They're all dressed exactly the same. You probably recognize that this is not like jumpsuit ready to go stuff. This is like dress. They're all in dress uniform. And it's a show of power and a show of authority, but you can see several of them look visibly scared. Calanthe among them. She is also like clocking the mechs, squinting probably from the brightness of this like bright white hangar bay. I think it's a good time to lock eyes across the bay. But again, she does that immediate look away, eyes immediately front, and hides herself in the military requirements of her for today. She makes her way with the rest of her squadron up to a meeting room where several higher ups are awaiting.
I think it's one of those things where like we don't know what's being said, but we know what our go signals are.
Mm-hmm.
Did we roll for a complication?
I don't think that we did, you know.
Oh no, this is perfect. I love that we started the scene without it because
We don't need it.
Nah,
We're just gonna go.
Okay, I'm gonna roll something here.
Yes, your turn.
I don't think that one really works very well.
You choose.
You know what? I'm gonna be really, really spicy.
Good.
Okay, I'm gonna have you pick. I'm gonna give you 2 options.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna tell you what they are.
Okay.
1 or 4.
4.
Something or someone precious breaks, and that's the last straw for you.
Oh. There's so many ways that could go. I like. Is the you intended to be the person who rolls the die?
The you is whoever we decide it is.
What if it's
Which is
both
the
of us?
beautiful thing.
What if it's both of us?
Okay.
What could potentially?
Oh.
She's done it.
Okay.
She's done it.
Are you in a mech or no?
Sorry.
Mech, yes or no?
I land in my mech. We can rewind. My squadron lands in a mech. Yes.
Okay. We are told to get out of the mechs
Okay.
and stand visible.
I see where you're going, and I love it. Yes,
You've got the charm.
I do. I was going to save it for later, but yes.
You've used the token, and I think the way that that this token comes into play in this scene is that in an outrage, somebody's going to snatch it from you.
Yes, somebody's
And
going to notice me wearing it. I
yeah,
shouldn't be wearing it.
you shouldn't be wearing it. Someone's going to
Yes.
notice you're wearing it.
Yes.
And they're going to crush it under a boot.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That would set us both off. Yeah.
That would set us both off.
Yeah.
So, told to get out of the mech.
Yeah.
This is I think this is more of a we're constructing this together because even
Absolutely.
though we're both there, but we're not there. It's my game. I can do what I want.
Yeah. It's for charity.
It's for charity. Please donate to the charity. Okay. We'll kind of DMEC.
D-mech. Yes.
DMEC. That's the official term for it.
It is now.
Close in.
Yeah.
There's like this long kind of rectangular table, which is like other than like us, it's like the only like color in the room. It's like this gray long table. And standing kind of in the middle of the one, like on like the right hand side, let's say, is like a contingent of deer people.
Yes. The true power in the universe.
They're brokering the truce. They've had enough of our garbage.
I love that.
And honestly, good. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there because my side is kind of standing stoically. And your side, which is you have brought, I think, a much larger contingent than we have. But I don't think that necessarily ours is like we've brought our A team, so it doesn't matter how many numbers you have. Like we're gonna we don't need in a kind of cocky way.
Yeah. Yeah. But I
They've
love that potentially opens you up. Like it is a choice to bring your top brass and put them all in one room. Because if something were to go wrong and an attack were to be launched, like that's the head off the serpent right there. So that is a really cocky, bold move, and it could go very, very, very badly.
Mhm.
I feel like Calante's people took a slightly different approach, not out of not to say that they took a more strategic approach, but I think I feel like there's a thread of fear running through their motivations. And so it is that fear of don't put everybody in the same room because this could go badly. The contingent definitely betrays this undercurrent of fear. You can pick up on a nervousness and like all their insectoid features, like Calanthe's wings skitter and like make that that rubbing sound, that sort of cellophane hitting each other, like when you wrap up the Quality Street wrapper when you finished eating an each, it's like that kind of crinkly, tense sound. And there are people, excuse me, people's antennae like twitching and clicking, and people's rubbing their legs together, like absent-mindedly, not thinking about doing it. The energy is very, I've been called to the headmaster's office, and the jig is up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where their energy is coming from. Calanthe is probably the smallest member of her team, and the newest, and honestly wonders, is she here for any other reason than that she was the person who Yasmin approached?
Okay.
But
I like that.
underneath her, they all are wearing dress uniform. I think it's that kind of high, stiff collared thing. And underneath, she feels quite secure that the pendant is hid underneath it.
Except it's not.
It's not. What are you doing there, Taylor? Are you
I'm
okay?
I'm absolutely fine. Ignore me putting this temporary tattoo right on my forehead.
Amazing.
And I can fit it above my eyebrow, and guess what? That's exactly where it's going.
That's absolutely
So,
incredible.
while
Thank you,
you
whoever did that donation. Thank you so much.
while you deal with the complication, because it's happening to you, and I do kind of want to, I kind of want to thread the finale into this scene because
Let's
I've
do
got
that.
an idea. But I would love for you to describe the complication that's happening to you while I just hold this piece of wet kitchen roll to my forehead.
This is the magic of streamed APs. I love it like I love nothing else. The complication comes, I think that the talks get underway. Our like squadrons are not there to actively participate. It's more of an honor guard role.
Mm.
And so there's just a lot of standing and boredom and waiting and listening to angry voices shout. And we never established exactly what this information is that allows the dear people to bring us to this table, but I'm okay with leaving it vague if you are.
It is not important to the love story. It's just important that they have it and it's happening.
Exactly.
Because I think it's
Whatever.
one of those things, like, the scenes in the movie where, like, the protagonists are, like, at a distance and, like, all of, like, the voices are kind of faded out into a murmur while a really, really loud song
Yes.
plays,
Yeah, it's
arguably
very
a
that.
little bit too loud.
Yeah.
I think that's the vibe that's
Yeah.
currently happening.
You can hear the raised voices in the background and the dissent and the argument, but the words aren't super important.
Mhm.
Calanthe is very, very intently staring at a point 2 inches to the left of Rosaline's face. Just
Mhm.
military precision, just staring straight ahead, unblinking, but with that occasional rustle of the wings.
Yes.
The longer this goes on, the more bored that everybody is becoming, and despite, like, military training, this is still I don't know if you've ever just, like, stood really, really still for a really long period of time without moving. It can actually get quite draining, and she's starting
Mhm.
to feel the fatigue set in. And the more she does that, the more her willpower fades, and so there's a very occasional eyes dart just that across that 2 inches of space to see if she can see Rosaline looking. And I think that this garners attention from, say, like, a colonel or a major who isn't at the table, but is
Mhm.
patrolling the room, and there will be a very stern whisper in the back of her ear, "Focus on what you're doing, cadet."
That's so rude.
So rude. But what is worse is that because that person has leant in, and they're so much taller than Calanthe, they can look down and see this whatever it is not regulation, and it's sitting around her neck. And very, very quietly and very quickly, she can just feel this clawed finger, like, reach down the back of her collar,
Mhm.
pull the chain, it wasn't a chain, sorry, it was a cord, and just snap it. And the only sound in the room at that point is the clang and the tinkle of this pendant hitting the floor.
Oh, strong dislike. I can't break Crank. I wanna break
Unsubscribe.
Crank.
Yeah, I don't think it breaks at that point, I think it's still in one piece, but
Mhm.
all eyes look to it, and everyone can see that what it is.
Um, I think that Rosaline, uh, blushes, like, cheeks go, like, a deep purple because she's clocked that on you a couple of times now,
Yeah.
and she knows that it's hers, and she knows she's figured out where you got it. Um, and, like, she's been standing perfectly still. It like she's been staring almost directly at you, but there's no one to tell her not to. Um, and I think very much like if you had like a peer into her brain, it was just like whatever music is playing, like for the audience is playing in her head, but like the elevated music version of it, just like the da 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 da, like um, because she's good at this. She knows she's looking for a visual signal, so she doesn't really need to like kind of pay attention.
Yeah.
And she like looks over and like snaps full attention on this, and it's like, I can't break rank. I can't break rank. I can't
Mhm.
break rank. And is just watching to see what happens next before like, but like you can see like hands are twitching. She's
Mhm.
like she's fighting the impulses here to protect.
To protect. Sorry, unmuted
Yeah.
myself to cough. Yeah, and I think the conversation has hit like a, you know, when you just like, something happens and everybody stops. The conversation has hit a jarring stop and is struggling to sort of pick itself back up. The colonel, like the colonel, this authority person, this higher up, just does a very quiet, very pristine circuit of the line of people until he's come round to the front. And he doesn't even break stride. He just, like, marches along in front of the line until his heel stamps directly on the pendant on the floor. He doesn't even make a scene of it because it doesn't matter that much to him. He doesn't make a scene of it. It just happens because that's just what he has been trained to do. He recognizes that symbol, he knows what it means, and it is beneath him. Effortlessly, he just stomps it and brushes it aside.
I want to make a scene.
Are we gonna feed into scene 6?
Yes, I'm gonna make a scene. Prepare yourself. I'm about to go absolutely uh
She gonna lose her
right.
shit.
I'm about to um I think as he walks forwards, you hear like a whistle, and there's like a clang as something hits him in the temple and returns back to his hat and like comes away again as she has thrown a disc that was attached to her belt at him and
Oh,
hit
that's
him in the head. She has broken the stalemate. Um, um, she's broken the stalemate and is like running across the distance. Um, as like he's like started to walk away, and I think everyone at the table is just kind of like, what in shock. She's going to skid along the like she's gonna like break into a skid, scoop up the remains. Um, and you feel a very familiar arm around your waist as she scoops you out of the line and behind her.
yeah. I think there's movement all around the room now because in this place at this time, it was supposed to be stalemate. It was supposed to be like a truce, and you've just engaged in another act
I've
of war.
engaged.
Yeah.
Because she's like there is like a kind of like, you know, there's a difference between like a cold clinical rage and like a hot rage,
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in that like her eyes are like kind of welling up a little bit.
Mhm.
And she's like broken you out of your ranks and scoops you behind her. And
I
it's
love
very much
that.
like she's seen you alone. Like every time she's seen you, you have been alone. And the second that she's seen you in front of people, you have been disrespected and your property has been destroyed. And she is just like, I'm not having this. Absolutely not. And like, she understands that for whatever reason that you kept that, it was important and it's important enough for you to wear all the time. And she knows because she's read your journal, she knows who you are. Like that is something small and beautiful that you have decided is precious. And
Mhm.
so whereas for her it was just a gift, it was something that she had on her but didn't have any sort of like meaningful sentimental attachment to. It's not something that she like kind of lost herself over losing. It has been given meaning by your care that you put into it. And she's just like, no,
Not today.
absolutely not today. And it's just like he's not bleeding. Like it's literally like a kind of like discombobulation
Mhm.
type thing. But like he's like stumbling forward. People are moving, like guns are being pulled.
I almost feel like there aren't guns in this room, like, that's
Okay.
part of
Oh yeah,
the
no, that makes sense.
agreement to meet is, like, completely neutral ground.
Hmm.
Whatever you had on you, your little disc weapon was, like, absolutely contraband.
Yeah. 'cause the thing is, it looked like just part of the belt. It wasn't
Yeah,
supposed to be anything more than that.
yeah.
Um,
So there are no other weapons, but there are raised voices and other people moving to grab other people.
um, and like, I don't think that she like, when it's like this is usually the place for like a snappy like one-liner,
Yeah.
like something about respect, but I don't think she even stoops that low.
Mhm.
Like I don't think it's like an intelligence thing. I think this is literally just that she's like just don't like a guttural like don't do that to her kind of thing. And like all hell is breaking
Yeah,
loose everywhere, and she's just standing there like just fully like in protect mode.
yeah. I think as you're doing that, as you're standing over her, behind you, Calanthe stoops down and tries to gather up the broken pieces of the
Mhm.
pendant, but it's actually been quite a clean break, so there is now, um, like, the metallic linking piece,
Mhm.
and the 3 gems have become separated, and so she has to
Mhm.
scoop those up as 4 different pieces.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Um, I think she's gonna pocket them, I think she's just gonna pocket the gems. How do you feel like this should end? I am inclined to believe the best thing we could do now is have, like, an open-ended but incredibly hopeful ending
Mhm.
where we make a break for it and we leave this conflict behind us. We're not gonna solve it here and now on this day,
Mhm.
but the
I
fact
like
that the
that.
2 of us have broken out of it, we can be a beacon of hope for other people, and we can join that third side of neutrality and try and work in the future to bring this conflict to an end.
Have an idea.
Of course you do.
Of course, I have an idea. Like people are kind of moving away from us because they haven't quite got the vibe.
Yeah.
And like everyone else is panicking, but I think like the deer people are staying incredibly still, watching us like very intently. And somewhere behind us, a door opens, and you
Yes.
can see Yasmin in the door.
Yes.
Um, and I'm like looking at reflections and things and stuff, and clock it, and I start pushing you backwards, and then I'm
Mhm.
gonna take your hand so it's very visible that we're doing this together.
For
And
anybody who happens to be
for
watching, yeah.
anyone who happens to be watching, which is a few people on all sides at the very least, and we're going to hand in hand run
Yeah,
together
yeah.
out of the room. Yasmin will close the door behind us, and as like that kind of door closes, screen goes to black,
Mhm.
and credits start to roll.
Yeah, credits roll, and then the mid-credit, after credits scene is just this tiny little, speedy ship just jetting away from this neutral place and heading back out and towards the stars. And the jet trail is pink and blue and purple because of course it is.
Yay! We did it.
We did a
We
romance.
did a romance.
That was so much fun. Like,
Okay.
the
I
the
I I love that so much.
yeah, I love how wide, like, how broad we were able to make that, how we were able to take all those prompts and just make it
Mhm.
our own, but make it so tropey and and delicious. It's absolutely wonderful.
This is exactly what the game was designed to do. Nathan Blades, who wrote these prompts, amazing, 10 out of 10. Absolutely loved
Incredible.
them. I was so happy when Nathan came onto the
Yeah.
project. So like this is fantastic. But our time here has ended. So thank you so much everyone who tuned in. Thank you to Roll for Good, all of the admin team, the producers who have been
Yes.
working so hard today, the mods who have been like absolutely rocking it in the Twitch chat. You're all incredible. Thank you to the other performers, everyone who's
Mhm.
performed over the weekend.
Yep.
Thank you, Darcy, for inviting me to do this and play my game for the first time and playing it with me. This has
My
been
honor.
incredible.
Yeah.
Um,
I also just wanna shout out, just because I know who all the groups are, all the incredible people who did all the graphics, all these overlays, and all the social
yeah,
promo posts. Every game got its own Burbington, which was an enormous amount of work. That team works incredibly hard. Thank you
That's
so much to them.
incredible.
Ida and Fresh in comms, who did all the socials for this, have done all the marketing, did an incredible job. I did a great job.
You
Not
did. You
me.
did a great job.
All the people who donated, all the publishers who donated prizes for giveaways, thank you so much for being part of this. That is a huge incentive. It is a wonderful part of what we do here. So yeah, thank you to all those people as well.
Okay, wonderful. So we raised a total of £1,325 for Doctors Without Borders. That's a huge amount, especially with an initial goal of 1,000. So thank you to everyone who donated. Just so you know, the Shopify link will remain open for a few more days to receive donations. So if you do want to push us all the way to 1,500, but you don't have the money right now, you have got time to donate still. If you've won a giveaway, you'll get a DM from our team or contact us in our Discord, please. And finally, Roll for Good is planning to return later this year for our Halloween event. Woohoo!
Halloween
More details
hijinks.
later. All socials will be links below the screen, so do keep an eye on this. Like, these charity weekends do take a lot of effort, but the team puts a lot of love and care into it. And hopefully we'll see you again at Halloween. Thank you once again, everyone, for staying up with us if you're in Europe, or for spending your afternoon with us if you're elsewhere. And we'll see you later. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Go to bed.
Fuck it, we'll keep going. We'll go on all night long. Let's go.
It's okay. It's okay, because there's a Regency setting for not yet, so we'll just make you a bread of Regency season, seeing as you're not enjoying this one.
Bye, 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 bye.